right, guys. So I'm going to be streaming the reaction. This is Teofimo Lopez, Steve Claggett. This fight that's starting in about 20 seconds is the Nico Ali Walsh fight. This is the obviously grandson of Muhammad Ali. He fought a kid from my hometown that I thought Ali Walsh lost. Danny Feelgood Hollywood. They called it a draw. But when your last name's Ali, you're going to win a lot of close fights. He's fighting a guy that he's fought before to a draw. So let me know where you guys are coming in from. We got this fight. We got the Robesi Ramirez fight. Then we got the main event. So this is the start of the third to last fight. Nico Ali Walsh coming off. He's an orthodox fighter fighting Akali, who's from Cameroon. They fought before to a draw. This fight's at 160 pounds. It's only 6 rounds. 20 seconds gone. Nico Ali Walsh is a taller fighter. And when you watch him box, he has skills. You can see it. He knows what he's doing in there. He's comfortable in there. It's just the thing about at the professional level is understanding what a pace is, knowing how to pace yourself and knowing how to carry that energy throughout an entire fight. That's when you see a match and the announcers will say this guy's a professional. That word professional in boxing usually tends to mean he knows how to carry himself through a full fight. And that's what Nico Walsh is learning to do. Nico Ali Walsh. Ali, the important bit there. 1 minute gone in the first round. This is 1 of 6. Fighting the Cameroonian Akali. They fought before not too long ago to a draw. Nico's coming off a victory. And we got about 90 seconds left. Let's see where they're both ranked at globally. We'll go to the old rankings so we see what we're dealing with here. Nico Ali. Guys, if you haven't seen the videos yet, Rosaline, good day, Johnny. I'm in Melbourne, mate. Looking forward to the call. Hey, what's up? Yeah, so this card, watching this card makes sense to us because fellow Aussies, it's only a little bit after 12. And if you have KO Sports, it's free. So I'm not sure if you guys, in America, what it costs to stream. But just with a KO Sports subscription, we're watching it. Good exchange with about a minute left in the first. They're swinging now. Look, I got to tell you, Nico Ali Walsh is there to fight, man. He throws some combos. He doesn't move his head as much as I'd like him to do. He has a clean jab. He has skills. A minute left in the first. Let's see what he's rated globally. We got a friend of the channel, Chris Algieri, making his ESPN debut on the commentary. Algieri tonight has replaced Timothy Bradley. They said Bradley's on vacation. So in steps the former world champion, the master in nutrition, the fighting collegian, Chris Algieri, one of my favorite people. If you guys ever have an opportunity to meet him in person, sweetheart of a guy. Oh, big right hand by Walsh. 20 seconds left. So let's see. He is currently ranked number 160 out of 1,745 middleweights in the world. Good right hand. 10 seconds left in the first. Nico lands a big right hand. He just looks cleaner and crisper. O'Kelly with an overhand right that misses. Round 1 in the books. I give that to Ali Walsh. Look, the thing about Nico Ali Walsh, you know about the expectations he has to bring in the ring with him every fight. He's still green in his career. 9-1 with 5 knockouts. Okay, so I'd like to ask him what his expectations are in the sport. You know what I mean? Because there's been other Alis. We know about Layla, the daughter. She was a world champion. She's actually in my first book, Name Drop. She's chapter 7 in my first book. But Nico looks like, he's 23 years old. He's still a baby. So 23 years old, he's getting the fights. This is his 11th pro fight. He's 9-1 with 5 knockouts. He's ranked number 160 in the world, 33 in the U.S., and maybe he is going to have a go. You never know what, when remember Hector Macho Camacho's son had a career in the mid-2000s and had like 50 fights against a lot of D-level fighters and padded that record. And then and then you have like Julio Cesar Chavez's son. So coming from boxing families, you never know what to expect. All right, round 2. Ali Walsh landed 15 to 11 in round 1 at 25% to 27%. I give that round to Ali Walsh. This is round 2 of 6, and he's fighting Akale, a guy that he fought before. They fought to a draw. No, I take that back. Ali Walsh has a loss to this guy. He lost a majority decision last August, and the guy and Sona Akale is 9-1. Interesting. All right, so he's trying to get his get back, which I respect. A young fighter who's only 23 years old with 1 loss, trying to avenge that loss at that young age, that's a good thing mentally. And starting off with a minute gone in the second round, Ali Walsh is looking clean, looking the crisper boxer. Everything's tighter. He's landing and leading with his jab. His right hand's landing. With Okali, the Cameroonian boxer, he's a bit stockier, and he's throwing a lot more power shots that are looping, and he doesn't look as clean and sort of well put together at this level as Ali Walsh. I wonder what that first fight looked like if he lost. Ali Walsh loses a majority. But when you have a young 23-year-old, it was in America, it was in Tulsa. When you have a young 23-year-old like Ali Walsh, every time we're going to see him, he's going to look better in terms of skill set. I guess he lives in the gym. And I love seeing the butterflies on the back of his shorts. And, being raised in America and being American, we're hopeless romantics. So could you imagine Nico Ali Walsh? I like how top rank, a little bit of net, obviously. If your last name is Ali in the boxing world, you better be able to soak in some sort of nepotism. But I like that they're giving him a feature fight here. We're watching it live here in Australia. And we got this fight. Then we got the Robesi Ramirez fight. And then we got Teofimo Lopez. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. We got a minute left in the second. Ali Walsh lands a good 1-2. It's a bit back and forth of a round. With 45 seconds left in this round, it's anybody's fight. Anybody's round. Akali looks way stiff. Ali Walsh looks like the more natural boxer, the cleaner, the smoother of the two. 30 seconds left in the second. Carries his hands a bit low. Has his hands here rather than here. Both guys are already looking fatigued a bit. 15 seconds in the second round, round 2 of 6. Nice jab. Oh, yeah, Conceição is fighting Ramirez. That's who's fighting Ramirez, right? No, Ramirez is fighting Benitez. Oh, that's on, my bad. The announcers are I'm getting tripped on. That's on the Shakur card. Yeah, the Shakur card next week is wild. You got Shakur taking on Harunian. You got Oshaki Foster. Foster's taking on Conceição. And then you got you also have Keyshawn Davis versus Medueno. Medueno's tough as nails fighter. There's some good boxers, man. At this stage of the game with social media, guys, it comes down to promotion. And it's one of the things that I feel Jerome Boots Ennis signing with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, it's going to be good for his career because Boots just turning 27 years old, not being properly promoted. A good promoter could change everything for a young fighter, both with their confidence and their exposure. And we'll see how that, we know Boots fights the second week of July. And next week we got Shakur. Right now we got Teofimo. Dude, and then the first week of August we got that card in LA, Terrence Crawford versus the Dream Madrimov. Round 3 of 6. The first round was a bit more widespread. The second round I felt was a bit closer. Ali Walsh is outlanding Akali 31-22, higher percentage clip too. Ali Walsh 27%, Akali at a 22% clip. This is only a 6-round fight. If you're not watching it, the best way to explain their styles without moving is Ali Walsh's guard and his professional wounds from here, and the Cameroonian he's throwing all of his shots from here. So the Cameroonian is throwing a lot of power, a lot of looping stuff, and Ali's just using that jab, that 1-2 straight down the pipe, working his straight shots, and that's what you want to do. And when you talk about, you listen to people when they say winning rounds And a big difference between amateurs and pros is like in amateurs, you have to win rounds. And you could win rounds with just staying like there, just staying busy, really not even sitting on shots. And the professionals, though, because they're longer rounds and it's a longer fight, you have to get your opponent's respect with power. So you just can't nickel and dime. You have to take risks. And that's that's sort of like a Cliff Notes version of what people mean by that. It's one of the elements. There's a lot of other factors to that, but it's how they punch, the speed of their punches, the volume of their punches. Are you trying to just score points? You could get away with just scoring the points in the amateurs. That's what I meant. You can't really get away with that in the pros because of you got to worry about the power. Oh! Akali lands one of those wild shots. So what's happening is everybody knows what Akali wants to do. Land one of these big looping ones. Good test very good test. Real Don Smith, did you watch the first fight? Did you watch the one in August where Ali Walsh lost the decision to Akali? Because I'm reading about it now. I haven't seen that fight. But what I'm seeing here is Ali Walsh's skill set. He looks like a polish. He looks better and better. I haven't seen him I saw him last 3 fights ago when he fought a kid from my hometown, Danny Rosenberger. Feel good Hollywood. This would have probably been 2 years ago. I haven't seen him since, but in 2 years, he looks way better. He keeps his chin a bit higher, though. He keeps his chin a bit high for my liking. His guard's a bit low. Oh! Big right hand lands, knocks the mouthpiece out of Akali. They are trading shots. Bombs right, left. Akali's chin's up. Walsh's chin's up. Akali's mouthpiece flies out the ring. Crazy exchange there is nuts. 20 seconds left in the third round. Ali Walsh gave way more than he got there. That was exciting. I want to show you, but don't want to get tagged. Oh, Ali Walsh is sitting on it. Oh, big left hand at the buzzer, knocks him down. Ali Walsh with the left hand. This is the most aggressive I've ever seen. Akali's trying to brush it off. He's getting counted. This is the end of the third. You can't be saved by the bell. He's all right. That was exciting stuff, guys. That's it. Oh, they're staring at each other. So at about 30, it's round 3 is done and dusted. Ali Walsh just dropped Akali with a beautiful left hook. And it was a classic case of Ali Walsh was more technical. And they're trading, right? They're throwing bombs. But Akali is here in boxing range. And Ali Walsh is here and catches him and drops a mouthpiece went flying. Oh, beautiful left hand. Falls right on his bum. Ooh, right there. Ooh, and a left hook. Short, crispy. So you got a knockdown in the third round. This is only a 6-round fight. I gave Ali Walsh the first, second, late bloomer. Is the one world awaits from the real. That was an exciting round, though. And they're just staring at each other. I'd like to see Ali Walsh's guard stay a bit higher. He starts round 4 with the jab. He's up big since he had a huge third round. They're throwing bombs. They're both throwing hammers. He has to be tested. I agree. Litmus, very important litmus test. Akali's wild with it, but he's putting the pressure on him. Oh, he catches Ali Walsh with the right hand on the ear. Ali Walsh grabs. 30 seconds gone in the fourth. There's only a 6-round fight. I like Ali's hands just stay a bit higher. His hands drop low, and he's exposing his chin in some of these exchanges. It's getting pretty testy here. Ali Walsh won the first, second, and third. The second round was close, but he drops Akali in the third. And now there's a minute gone in the fourth. This is only a 6-round fight. This is a rematch fight. Ali fought Akali last August and lost. His only loss, majority decision. So he's fighting like he wants his get back. That's exactly what we're seeing here. The first 2 rounds was him using his jab. Round 3 saw Ali sitting down on his hooks in the pocket and Akali exchanging with him. And Akali got way more than he gave, got dropped. A minute 45 left in the fourth. Ali's back is on the ropes. Good. He has to shuffle out of there. From what you can tell if you're watching Ali for the first time here is he's much better coming forward. He doesn't look as comfortable backing up. Some fighters could punch backing up. Gervonta Davis is a great counter boxer backing up, but think of Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder was never comfortable backing up, punching. It's just one of those things. Ali Walsh, you got to make him uncomfortable, and I think Akali's starting to figure that out, trying to control the center of the ring with his lead foot and pushing Ali Walsh's back against the ropes. And Ali Walsh in the fourth round is getting hit way more. There's a minute left in the fourth round. We're going to see his cardio. He's circling away from the power. There's a minute left. I need to see him take the center of the ring. He needs to get his respect back. That's what's happening. Thanks, guys. 45 seconds left. Oh, Akali with a big right hand, and Ali Walsh just eats it. His hands are dropping. They both look tired. Ali has swelling around his left eye. It's been a tough round for him. I don't want to say he took a round off. Granted, these are only 6 rounds, and he washed the first 3. I mean, the second round was close, but dropping him in round 3, 10-8, and winning the round and then winning the round 1 clearly, I wonder if Ali Walsh was like, you know what? This is only a 6-round fight. Let me take the 4th round off, not take too much damage, and end the show. He wants to end. He wants to get him out of here, though. Whenever you could have a rematch with a guy that beat you and you have the opportunity to knock him out in a rematch, that's what you want to do. It kind of like helps resolve that first loss. All right, 4 rounds in the books, guys. There's only 2 left. That's an Akali round. I got to give that round, way to come back from the knockdown. He was in the 3rd round, the Cameroonian gets dropped. And in the 4th round, he comes out there and gets that round. 2 rounds left. He looks tired. Let's see if these odds are changing. So for Teo, last time I looked, Teo was an 8-1 favorite. Let's see where the money's coming in. Claggett was an 8-1 dog. So Ramirez fights in 20 minutes. Teo fights at 2. Yeah, he's still an 8-1 dog. Knockout is coming. We got 2 rounds. I think I think Akali really put everything out. He's gassing. He's huffing. He's much more muscle bound too. In a cardiovascular sport, that stuff, being muscle bound, is great for power. It's really difficult to carry with you though throughout that longevity of a fight. Rarely ever you'd see a real muscle bound guy be able to look as great in the later rounds. They're usually the first mid-round guy because it's just tough to carry it. Round 5 is 6. Oh, Akali lands a big right hand, and Ali is in trouble on the ropes. Akali's trying to end the fight throwing bombs. He just got a big headbutt. There is a flurry, and Akali is trying to get Ali out of there, tied up in the corner. Ali's still moving. He's having a good time. He's with it. He caught a big headbutt, though. Ali's firing back. Ref breaks him up. A minute gone in the 5th. That was some wild stuff right there. Akali, one last round. He might have punched himself out. The first minute of this 5th round, he had Ali in bad shape up against the ropes, landed power shots after power shots, and then Ali grabs him, clinches up, the ref breaks it up, and now we got about 1:45 left in the 5th, and Akali hasn't thrown a punch in about a minute. Ali with a big right uppercut, beautiful, parrying the jab. Nice work to the body. I love Ali's body work. As an orthodox fighter, he goes right uppercut to the under that left arm of his opponent, left hook up top. So pop, pop. Akali's being limited to one big punch at a time. Akali's standing there now with his hands down, throwing bombs. Oh, Ali's laughing at him. A minute left. They're kind of taunting each other. 1 minute left in the 5th round. Akali is saying Ali hit him in the back of the head. Ali Walsh is pointing at him, laughing. Double jab. Ali looks like he has another good 5 rounds in him. Not really breathing hard, pawing out with the jab and the cross. Akali's waiting for one big flurry. So Akali has been limited to big flurries. And I would suggest, if I were his coach, he's pedestrian throughout the round, and then he'll have like a 10-second flurry. And he's trying to catch Ali with one of those flurries. And you figure 40 seconds left in the 5th round with only 1 round left. Akali probably only has 3 flurries left. So if you're Ali Walsh, keep circling. because he's fighting a fellow orthodox fighter, Ali Walsh wants to circle to his right, away from his opponent's right hand. He's catching bombs now, though. 30 seconds. This is one of those flurries. Keep your hands up. Oh, God. 20 seconds left. Ali Walsh is laughing. Catches Akali with a big right hand and cuts him over the right eye. Ali is laughing. He took some shots there. 10 seconds left in the 5th round. Akali's eye is bleeding off of a gorgeous right hand. Another right hand from Ali Walsh. And in that flurry, Akali landed some good shots, but couldn't get him out of there, and he can't throw right now. 10 seconds left in the 5th. Akali looks drained. I just don't think it's going to be enough. That's it. 1 round left. It's a pretty exciting fight. So literally from rounds 4 onwards, since the knockdown in the 3rd, Akali has been limited to flurries within the 3-minute round. The round will start. He'll take the first 30 seconds off, not really throw any punches, use his footwork to push Ali around the ring. Ali's trying to circle away from the right. About a minute into each round, Akali lets go like a 10 to 20 punch, wild-ass flurry. It looks like Ali might get knocked out, and then Ali grabs him. And then for the rest of the round, Akali doesn't throw any punches. But we'll see. He's dangerous when he does, though, guys. There's 1 round left. This is interesting. Yeah, so his corner, Ali's corner, is telling him to circle away from that right hand. So if you have orthodox versus orthodox, it's easy. And if you're learning the sport on movement, which way you should go, ortho versus ortho, you know my power side's my right hand, and my opponent's power side's his right hand. So as the fighter, when we're thinking defensively, we want to circle away from our opponent's power side. So I want to be circling to my right if I'm Ali Walsh, going towards Akali's left hand. And he hasn't thrown much of a left hand anyway. Yeah, so Algieri brings up a good point. In these wild exchanges, when you get clipped with a heavy shot, an experienced pro will clinch and grab. In the last 2 rounds, Walsh has won them, but when he's been in danger, it's been during the wild exchanges. And rather than clinching when he's been clipped, he backs up and is in that space when you back up that you could get hit with a shot that gets you out of there. Mark Krugel has it 48-46. Walsh, that's closer than I would have it. I think Walsh is up, by 3 rounds. I wouldn't give Akali 3 rounds. Oh, it's getting wild. Akali jumped at him and grabbed the back of his head. Walsh is taunting him. A minute gone in the last round. And like I said, this is a rematch from last August in which Walsh had his only career loss, lost by a majority decision. Both guys have 1 loss. Akali's 8-1. Nico Ali Walsh, I think, is, what do we say, 10-1? Nico Ali Walsh is 9-1 with 5 knockouts. So Walsh doing that as an amateur move for sure. For sure. And Algieri picked that up, and that was a good call on Algieri, is that when you get stunned in a fight, a true vet will grab. You want to smother the puncher. But amateur wants to back up and follow their instinct. It's a fight or flight. It's actually ingrained in our neurochemistry. We have the body has sympathetic nervous system and our parasympathetic nervous system. So to want to run away from danger is normal. It's in our normal pattern. So you have to train that out of you. So when you see a fighter who still wants to run away rather than clinch, it just shows a little bit of greenness. But you train that out of you over time. We got a minute left. I think Walsh is up by at least 2 rounds. Akali is fighting like he knows he needs the knockout. He's trying to put Walsh in the corner. There's 45 seconds left. The crowd's actually on their feet. They understand what's at stake here. If you're Nico Walsh, you want to go. You want to get this victory. And Akali is throwing big bombs, but there's nothing behind it. Both guys at this stage are relegated to arm punching, meaning that it's just here and not moving any of that. So 30 seconds left in the 6th round. Nice right hand by Ali Walsh. It's only a 6-round fight. Akali has 1 more flurry left. What's he doing this amateur? How long has Walsh been boxing? I mean, he has 11 pro fights. I don't know that answer, 3 state. But I got to say, every time I see Walsh, he looks better and better. He looks like he's taking it serious. They're exchanging. 5 seconds. Akali's trying to knock him out. Rabbit punches. It's a wild ending. It's a wild fight. It was half technical, and a half, we went to the pub and the boys got a punch on. So, they always talk about conditioning and cardio, even at the highest level. As that cardio leaves, that's when the technique leaves. So, like, half this fight, the rounds would start here, and then if you're watching, they'd end like this. Like you're at the club and the boys want to punch on. All right, we got Ali Walsh had his pro debut only in 2021, guys. He made his pro debut August of 2021. So in 3 years, this is his 11th fight. He'll move to 11-1. And he's ranked number 160 in the world out of 1,745 middleweights. He's ranked number 33 in the U.S. in middleweight. He's only 23 years old. It's a good weight class for him. He has a long way to go, though. There's no rut. A long way to go. I mean, he got touched up. His forehead swollen. It's that defense, man. That defense, being able to know where the strike zone is and lean in and lean out and lean in and lean out. That takes time. That takes rounds. That you can't pay for that experience. You get that through these fights. That's why you don't see amateurs going to the pros and fighting right at a 12-round bracket. Usually start with 4-round fights, 6-round fights, 8-round fights, 12. He's still on the 6-round level. That's kind of how you can tell. Mark Kriegel has Ali Walsh winning 57-56. He gave Ali the first 3 and gave Akali the last 3. That's interesting. I had Ali Walsh 4 rounds to 2 with the knockdown in the 3rd. Here we go. Decision. Fif 58-55. 57-56. Unanimous decision. Nico. And the Cameroonian fighter is arguing the decision. So now they go 1-1 against each other. And there's a break between fights. I'm going to leave the stream on, guys. So if you guys go get some 11-1 now, he proves his record. 6-foot-tall male. 6-foot-tall, 74-inch reach. 23 years old. I mean, he'll only get better. They're interviewing him in the middle. Oh, he's saying he got injured. Oh, my God. Nico Ali Walsh just thanks God and says, praise be to Allah. And the crowd in Miami started booing him. Oh, my God, I love America. Nico Ali Walsh, fighting in Miami, a town where Muhammad Ali helped bring boxing to, says, first and foremost in the ring interview, I'd like to give all praise to glory to God, praise to be Allah. And the Miami crowd started booing him. I don't know. I just think Americans are brutal, mate. He says he hurt his shoulder in the 6th round. He said he can't move his left shoulder. No, that's a good decision. Needs to get more high-level sparring conditioning. Yeah, for sure. See, that's the question, real deal, real Don Smith, is that I don't know. It's tough. We don't know. We're not with these guys every day. We don't know what their lifestyle is like. I can't tell if he's all in or not. That was my biggest question about him, is that, if you're training, like I train at a gym in Sydney, I know the guys, not all the guys who are the hardest workers in the gym are the most popular. You know what I'm saying? I know 2 guys who fight on pay-per-view here in Australia, and they're not always all in. But for whatever reason, they're at a higher level on the pecking order. But they'd be even better if they didn't party, didn't drink, live like a samurai. Not all combat fighters live like samurais. They're not all Marvin Haglers or Terrence Crawfords. And that's a tip to that to a guy like Bud. That's one thing that even the guys who don't cheer for Bud, they can never argue about his lifestyle. That dude has always been all in. That's how you got to be. Shoulder might have pulled. That's what he said. He thinks it might be a pulled muscle. It's not hanging like it's torn. Usually, if a guy tears either the rotator is behind you, it's posterior, and the shoulder will hang, or if it's something structural, it'll hang. It's not hanging. It might be a lat. He's pointing. He was pointing behind him. It's definitely not his collarbone. Actually, it does look like it's hanging. That might be a collarbone. Yeah, you can see it. The bone's sticking out. That might just be a dislocation. Is anyone else watching this? Shoulder might have pulled. That looked like it was kind of protruding here. Ramirez, 13-2, ESPN's number 6 featherweight. He got skills. This dude's amateur record was wild. El Tren. I can't bet on him anymore, though. Even this should be a wash. Because last time he fought, he was a favorite, and I bet on him, and he lost. I'm so happy Nello went off like that. You know what you're talking about. I appreciate you guys. Shameful for the fans to move. 100%. Yeah, you figure a lot. The one thing that's a great point, Duel, is that if everybody knew, if we all knew collectively, like the zeitgeist of boxing, the effort it takes for these guys to get their bodies and mind in shape to even make it on fight night, the weight cuts, the nutrition, a lot of these guys don't have money. And then when you do get money, you have to pay out your coaches, nutritionists, you have to pay the sanctioning fees, you have to pay your health care, all this stuff. And so when you get a victory, there should be a revelry and they get an opportunity to speak on an international level. It's wild to think that the fans in there were booing him. You know what I mean? Because they're not like, he's just being honest about what his faith is. The crowd booing is fucking. I'm laughing at the ignorance of the crowd. By the way, like it's wild to think that they would boo in that situation. But Florida's a wild place, and you guys know that. He turned down Jake Paul to rematch this tough domestic fighter. I'm a fan of this guy now. Shameful to the fans. He turned down Jake Paul to rematch this domestic fighter. Who turned down Jake Paul? Did I miss something here? Somebody fill me in on the Jake Paul comment. I don't really follow Jake Paul. No offense to anybody. I mean, if he beats Mike Perry's a legit. I mean, I've been covering MMA since 2015. This channel is only boxing. Ali Walsh was going to fight. Hold on. Nico Ali Walsh was going to fight Jake Paul? I didn't know that. That's probably a dangerous fight for him. I got to be honest. You just heard me tell you I don't follow Jake Paul. But from what I just saw there and from watching Jake Paul train and, he's from around where I grew up in Northeast Ohio. Jake Paul grew up in Northeast Ohio. The commonalities there is he grew up wrestling. He's from a little town in Cleveland, Ohio. I grew up in Youngstown, Ohio. The kid is tough. You can say what you want about him. I just told you I don't follow his career, but he got power. The kid can bang. And Nico Ali Walsh defense has holes in it. And you stand in front of Jake Paul like that, he could crack you. So and Jake Paul's in his mid to late 20s now. He's way bigger than Nico Ali Walsh. Nico Ali Walsh is 23. I like the fact that he didn't take that fight now. It shows you that Nico isn't running his career with his ego. He probably wants to make something of it. He said he turned down. Okay. See, I had I didn't have the volume up. I didn't hear that. Muhammad Ali paved the way for a lot of boxers. That's crazy as a crowd. That's the thing. The booing thing. At the crowd. That's the thing. If you guys know boxing, Ali brought boxing to Miami. You know what I'm saying? Like he did a lot. He did a lot for that town as an entertainment. It wasn't always an entertainment town. This was an old sort of trailer park, just a typical Florida wetlands, nothing in the 1940s, 50s, 60s. So it's only been part of the growth of it, the expansion. Obviously, we know the cocaine trade in the 70s and 80s. But part of the genesis of that growth was boxing. And who brought that boxing was Ali, that kid's grandpa. And so for the crowd to boo, man, it just shows you we can't judge. I'm not gonna judge the booers. But the Jake Paul, to put a sort of period on that, is he's fighting Mike Perry. Mike Perry fought in the UFC. He was cut his teeth in Detroit, Michigan. He went down to South Florida to do all of his UFC camps. His first love was boxing. He is the bare knuckle boxing champion. I know it's called boxing. It's just a different thing. He got hands, man, and he's mean. And that's a tough fight for Jake Paul. If Jake Paul beats Mike Perry, I might start watching more Jake Paul fights, or at least talking about him. But our page on Facebook, Boxing News Today, this channel, Boxing News Today on Instagram, you won't see me post about him, not quite yet. This is it's a boxing page. What he looks like, and how dare he try to fight Mike Tyson? Come on now. You can't even promote that. Don't even try to promote that fight either. That's trying to prostitute a legacy like that, a childhood sort of boogeyman in my era, and you're going to prostitute that legacy for that fight. I'm glad Tyson had pulled out of that. And we'll see. Maybe who knows what happens. If Jake Paul could beat Mike Perry, I think Mike Perry is Jake Paul's litmus test on where Jake Paul himself goes with his career, of either taking the trajectory of trying to give it a go as an actual legit boxer, or staying in the entertainment celebrity boxing thing. You know what I mean? Because if he washes Mike Perry, he might be thinking, shit, forget these paydays. Let me try to prove to my naysayers, let me prove to myself that I can handle the boxing community. We'll see. We'll see. Right now, I'm not on that side. So it's 12:45 here in Sydney. I don't know, where you guys coming from? Where are you living at? Let's see what the time is. In New York, it is, wow, damn. In New York, it's 10:45 at night on Saturday, and it's 7:45 at night Saturday. It's 12:45 here Sunday afternoon. I didn't want to see Tyson versus Jake. Same. Chesapeake, Virginia. VA, baby. Believe that. Yeah. Man, Timbaland used to be one of my favorite rappers of all time. People forget about Timbaland and Magoo. That up jumps the boogeyman. Music has moved on. Well, basically, Ramirez. Timbaland had a single. This is in the 90s when I was coming up. He had a joint with Genuine, Keep It Real. We used to drive around our cars in Northeast Ohio with the Timbaland and Genuine single. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Anyway, Virginia. I mean, dude, NERD, Pharrell. Think about the athletes from the VA, Mike Vick, those athletes who come out of Newport News, boxers, ball players. Don't sleep on Virginia. Wasn't Sweet Pea Whitaker from Virginia one of the greatest boxers of all time? One of my favorite fighters of all time. Every time I do I'm glad you brought up Virginia. Every time I do a post about Shakur, whether it's on our page or my channel, Shakur Stevenson right now is the sort of like name to see if people know boxing or don't know boxing. Because like his last fight against De Los Santos, I liked that fight. Like it was I loved watching Shakur do his thing against De Los Santos. As a kid boxing, I was like that big. So everybody was bigger than me. All my favorite fighters were guys who were defensive wizards. One of them being Pernell Whitaker. He was my favorite fighter to watch. Now, Pernell's offense was a little bit more, way on a different level than Shakur. But when I watch Shakur, I'm reminded of Pernell Whitaker on the defensive side. Sweet Pea would be in the corner up against the ropes with his guard down like this while hooks are flying at him. Boom, just out the way. And I think over time, as Shakur gets more comfortable with who he is and as a fighter, he just turned 27. He just needs to add a counter off of it because he's already doing, his defense is already here. He just needs to throw something off of it rather than just back up. Because the ones who really don't know the sport, they value a great boxer to somebody who is a knockout artist. They don't understand that it's not called knockouts, it's called boxing. And so what the things that Shakur does in the close proximity of danger, dude, Edwin De Los Santos is a dangerous fighter, mate. Look at what that guy walks around at. People sleep. Shakur started at 126. He's a titleist at 26, a titleist at 30, a titleist at 35. He's only 27 years old. And he fought Edwin De Los Santos at 135, I think, in his second fight, moving up from 130. And Edwin De Los Santos walks around like 175. The dude is fucking massive. And Shakur knew that. And Shakur, he fought like a kid who wanted to stay undefeated. That's what this is. This is boxing. You want to, at this stage in his career, where the modern day boxing sort of space is, you have to keep that. However much we hate it, he knew that, and he fought well enough to win, and he won. And people who don't like the way he won are fucking idiots. No offense. I didn't want to see Chesapeake. I went to school with Magoo. Really? That's crazy. Sweet Pea's from Norfolk. Yeah. Virginia. I was wrong with Newport. Sweet Pea was a beast. Fuck yeah, he was a beast. I love that. I think it was, I forgot what fight it was, but Sweet Pea came to when he was the Ring Magazine's Fighter of the Year, and he wore this Letterman coat. Back in America, we'd have Letterman coats, and it was him on the back. It was dope. It's Pernell Whitaker. What a sad. Too many stories. Just sad outcomes. Unfortunately, it was an accident. Like gone way too soon. Vernon Forrest, another one. Stud. So many good boxers from that era that people forget about. So we're getting ready for the second fight. It's already almost there's this fight and then the main event with Tio. They didn't. It's crazy this break. They say the Robesi Ramirez fight starts in 2 minutes. So let me remind people real quick. Shout out to my boy Keith from Philly. Keith is a big Robesi Ramirez fan. He's the one who educated me on this guy. Talked about his stellar amateur career. In the amateurs, Robesi Ramirez was 126-23. His current pro record is 13-2 with 8 knockouts. He's the number 1 featherweight in Puerto Rico, and he's the number 5 featherweight in the world. 1,627 featherweights. He's ranked number 5. Yeah, he lost to Espinoza via majority decision. He had won. He lost his first fight as a pro, split decision, and then won 13 in a row. And that's why everybody had this hype on him. And rightfully so. He's a stellar boxer, but fought Espinoza this past December and lost majority decision. This is his first fight back against Brandon Leon Benitez. He's a huge favorite. Vegas has Robesi Ramirez at like 13-1, which is, I think boxing needs to do away with that. We shouldn't be watching matches 13-1. Actually, all-time fantasy, Sweet Pea was a beast. That's actually one of my all-time fantasy fights, Sweet Pea versus Forrest. Man, Forrest was such a fun pleasure to watch. Vernon was a beast. Yeah, man. Like people, I'm gonna do a post. I'm glad you see me asking you guys where you're from sparks this. Me finding out you're from Virginia got us talking about this. So I'm gonna do a post in our boxing group. If you're not following our boxing group, the link is in my channel, just in the bio. Boxing News Today on Facebook. And I'm going to do one there in the community section here on Vernon Forrest because people sleep on his statistics are crazy. Robesi opponent is tough. He beat Zoo, the former top 5. Yeah, I'm reading about him. Brandon Benitez is 21-2 with 9 knockouts. He has got knocked out twice. And at only 20, he's a 26-year-old Mexican, 5'7". He is ranked 34 in the world. Okay, so you have the number 34 guy versus the number 5 guy. Knockout. It's going to be a good fight. They put it on this card for a reason. So, Robesi Ramirez. Cuba. I said Puerto Rico. Yeah, Ramirez is Cuban. Sorry about that. Originally from Cincy. Okay. It's the Nasty Natty. That's the largest liquor store I've ever seen in my whole life. It was 2002. I was going to the University of Pittsburgh, and my boys went to Ohio State and then University of Cincinnati. And for New Year's Eve, we spent 2002 in Cincy. And this girl we were friends with went to, she was a Bearcat. And there was this nightclub split in 2. It was like the size of it was huge. Half of it, though, was a country bar with dudes wearing cowboy hats, and the other half was a hip-hop bar. So we were floating back and forth. My group is mixed. My boys up white, Arabic, black, and we're mixing back and forth, and it was crazy. But I remember the liquor store in Cincinnati near the campus. It was the size of a Walmart. It was chaos. Those were back in the Mad Dog 2020 days. That Wild Irish Rose. You don't know about that. The St. Ides Special Brew. The Mango Boy. Man, the shit we would drink in college was crazy. We didn't even know what it was. Did you guys ever have Wild Irish Rose? Like in Australia, they don't make malt liquor. So I can't go to the liquor store and get a St. Ides. So I can't get a OE. In America, we make malt liquor. So they would be flavoring it. The branding would have colors on it. Oh, this looks like orange juice. And that's the next thing you know, you're a half a bottle deep on some Mad Dog 2020 Orange Jubilee, and you are fucked. Thank God we didn't have social media back in 2002. 100%. Dude, if they had I'm 42. If they had social media in 2002 when I was in college, Dude, think about what we were like, if you guys are anywhere near my age or older, the guinea pig generation for so much shit. It was crazy. At least things are kind of in the pocket with what we perceive as a culture to allow 16, 22-year-olds to do. Back then, anyway, playing baseball in college, they used to give us these pills called Xenadrine, and you could get them at GNC at the time. I played baseball in college. So at Pitt, they would give us our supplements, and one of them was called Xenadrine, which turned out to be a fat burner with meth in it that you used to be able to get at Rite Aid and GNC. It's spelled with an X, Xenadrine. And it comes to be that they were making it with like legal sort of methamphetamines. Anyway, all right, guys. I digress. This Ramirez fight's about to start. What sort of Lopez are we going to see? Robesi versus Benitez, but I'm excited to see what version of Teo we're going to see. We're going to see high-level Teofimo, superstar going for the knockout, or we're going to see the one we saw against sort of like Sandor Martin. All right, round 1 of 10. Ramirez is that different type of Cuban style like Ugas. Other aggressive fighters, more Cuban movement and footwork. Okay, so it's not the atypical dance, circle around, come back in. He's doing a lot of shoulder feints, level changing. These guys are featherweights, 126 pounds, so this is all action. I'm sure I can put it up. Southpaw versus Orthodox. So both of them are going to – so Southpaw versus Orthodox, it's going to be whoever can handle that front foot battle initially because they both want to get their rear hands off. So the Southpaw, which is Ramirez, wants to get his lead foot on the outside, but Benitez knows that as well. So you see that going on. Robesi's using a lot of shoulder feints, level changing right off the bat. His management at distance is nice, man. If you've never seen Robesi Ramirez fight, I saw him for his last fight, but I wasn't doing the analysis, so I was probably fucking around, not really paying attention. Watching all the things Robesi does is at such a high level. He's so active, and he's subtle. There's a minute and a half gone. Benitez is staying right in the middle. He's when you hear Mexican-style fighters, high guard, walk you down, force you to fight him. And so Robesi's, it's important that he tries to establish the jab. He puts Benitez against the corner for the first time in the fight. There's a minute left in the first round. Misses on a big left hand. Benitez is using a guard feint here. And he's trying to see right now they're just reading each other. It's all about seeing what you react to, whatever I do, and then trying to make adjustments here and see who could catch the other. At this weight class, 126, there's a lot of games going on. Benitez slips and falls. Their front foot got tangled. That happens a lot when you have that Southpaw Orthodox matchup. That lead foot gets tangled. Robesi is tough. Originally from Cincy. Ramirez is that different. I hope Lopez pulls it off. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think boxing is good when Teofimo Lopez is shining. And that's like if you're new to my channel, if you're not subscribed, that's my whole thing is putting boxing in a non-divisive eye. So I'll never do a video bashing a fighter. I'll never do a video talking shit about somebody who lost. I think boxing is in a great place when guys are all thriving. Why would you want to see a world champion not thrive, even if you're not a fan of him? You know what I'm saying? Because if that world champion is thriving that you're not a fan of, that's good for the sport. And whoever you're a fan of, if there's somewhere near that weight class, you'd want your opponent or your rival to be doing exceptional. Nobody wants to fight a guy who's not fighting well. So I love that. That's why I'm streaming this fight because Teo, man, imagine he comes out and just starches Claggett. Claggett's going to be there to get hit. That's another thing. This matchup is tailor-made for Lopez to have, if he's on, an exceptional performance just because of Claggett's style. Claggett averages, look this up, he averages 100 punches a round. He's a volume machine. And so with all that volume coming at Teofimo Lopez, a guy who wants to kind of wait for you to make mistakes, there's going to be mistakes made, and we're going to get to see Teofimo Lopez. Also, Claggett doesn't have the shiniest record. If you watch the videos I've done this week, I've broken both fighters down. I've given you my prediction. Claggett, not the shiniest record. He has won 9 in a row, 7 knockouts. He is in his 30s. This is his moment. You know what I'm saying? I've said it all week. Boxing creates Rocky moments, and this is his. What's up, Mathander? Yeah, we were chatting on the other lives. Just kicking it. We're 1 round in to the Ramirez and Brandon Benitez fight, and then we got Teofimo Lopez. It's 1 o'clock here on a Sunday afternoon. Thanks for joining me, guys. Round 2 of the Benitez Ramirez fight. Robesi, the Cuban Olympian, starting off the southpaw fighter fighting the Mexican Orthodox fighter Benitez. Round 2 of 10. It was definitely a feeling out round in round 1. They're cutting the space quicker now. When this one heats up, it's going to heat up quick. Never seen Claggett fight before. I'm mad I'm missing it, but fortunately I had to work. Yeah. And you wouldn't be – don't feel bad. If anybody said they knew who Claggett was before this fight announcement, I don't know if I could believe him. I had to do my homework. How would I have ever heard of Steve Claggett, the Dragon? You know what I'm saying? A Canadian. I think he's from Quebec. Let me double check that. And if he is from Quebec, they're speaking French. Never seen Claggett fight. At this stage of the game, guys, I have to fact check myself. So let's see. Claggett is Canadian. Calgary, Alberta. Okay. But I mean, yeah, you don't feel bad. He is ranked number 8 in the world. He is also an 8-1 underdog, 38-7 with 26 knockouts. He's a volume guy. Like I said, this is going to play, and it's going to play in Lopez's strengths. If you watch Fight Week, if you've seen any of the interviews that Lopez has given this week, he's looked switched on. He's looked dialed in. He wasn't very playful. He wasn't that sort of like manufactured, extravagant self. You know, when some guys are extravagant, it sometimes feels manufactured. They have to sell. It's part of the game. I sometimes get that with Teo. I don't feel like, and that's why, like, I can see why he has his detractors. But think about a guy, when Conor McGregor is the easiest example. When Conor McGregor came on the scene, the MMA scene, you could tell he was being authentic. It wasn't manufactured. And because of him, if you watch the UFC, it just caused all these little copycats. And so when I see a fighter who in Fight Week is trying to be a Conor or it's not genuine, it's hard to watch. Sometimes with Teo, you get that. It feels a bit hard to watch with his promotional stuff. This week, none of that. This week, he was spot on, even with the reporters in his interviews. He did call out Terrence Crawford and called out Boots Ennis, as he does. It's kind of like Fight Week for a superstar like Teo. It's their opportunity to stay in the headlines, win, lose, or draw. That's part of the chess game. You know what I'm saying? He can't just talk about Claggett. He has to think about what's next. So let me put this piece in front of this piece. And that's part of the chess game of boxing, the promotional side. 2 rounds in the bank. We got Ramirez now bleeding from the nose from a straight punch, getting touched up a bit more. And that's going to have to happen. If Ramirez thinks he's going to come in and beat – oh, my bad. Benitez is bleeding, touched up from Ramirez. If Benitez thinks he's going to come in this fight and beat Ramirez and not get touched up, that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? He's going to have to put himself in some dangerous situations. He got caught with a backhand cut right over the bridge of the nose. You could give that first round to anybody. That second round's a Ramirez round. We're about to go to round 3 of 10. I want to see quick defenses. A game, he's getting the KO. I think that's great for boxing, mate. Think about the potential. Teo comes in here and looks sharp, high level, gets the knockout. And it is a sign of his maturation. He knows that he didn't look how he wanted to look against Jermaine Ortiz. I live streamed that fight. I wouldn't have been. I thought Jermaine Ortiz should have won that fight. I mean, it's not a robbery. I wouldn't have been mad if it would have been a draw. I wouldn't have been mad if Jermaine Ortiz won. But Ortiz fought a great fight. Jermaine Ortiz is talented and skilled. And what those judges saw, like the scorecards, at least the scorecards could have been closer. That's all I'm going to say. Teo knows that. Oh! Robesi landed some bombs now. There's a headbutt. I don't think he's cut. Robesi's letting his hands go. He's coming off his, he had his 13-fight win streak snapped. He's fighting like a guy who wants a knockout. I think we're going to see this with Teo. We know that they say that New York City, Teofimo Lopez, but he grew up in the amateurs boxing out of Miami. It's why this fight is here. And the fans are packed. You get that crowd chanting Tio. I think we're going to see an electric Teofimo Lopez. And he let's say he knocks Claggett out. He could call anybody out. He said it earlier in the week. Think about what the 140 champions were just 2 weeks ago. At 140, we had Teo, we had Pitbull, we had Subriel Matias, and we have Devin Haney. Devin Haney asks for champion in recess, so he's dropped. Up comes Alberto Puello. We know Matias gets beat by Liam Perro. We still have Pitbull Cruz, and now we have Teo. Teo's been there the longest. So now he feels he's the godfather at 140. He's probably going to continue to call out somebody at 47. He said his dream fight's Crawford, but that's not going to happen. I don't mind a Boots fight, but Boots is a big 147, something that people don't really understand. And Teo's 5'8". You know what I'm saying? Boots is a big 147. He's 5'10", 5'11", long, gets bodied up in the offseason when he's not in fight camp. He's always in shape. It's why nobody wants to fight Jaron Ennis. Even though I did a video on this, Jaron only has one win over one world champion. That's it. He's 31-0, 28 knockouts. Sergey Lipnitz is the only world champion Boots has beaten. And when you look at that stat, you got Gervonta Davis going to turn 30 in November. Davis has beaten 8 world champions. Terrence Crawford's 36. He's beaten 10. The reason why Boots, I was starting to think about this. I haven't done a video yet on it, but one of you guys brought this to my attention in the post. I go, one world champion, and then somebody posts, yeah, but think about how many other world champions don't want to fight him, or think about how many offers aren't coming. So it's just another side of the stone about Jaron on why he can't get the title. Not many people are putting their hand up to fight him. I don't like that matchup with Teo versus Jaron Ennis, but there are exciting matchups at 47 to think about with Teo, even at 40. I'd like to see some unification fights. You know, if he knocks out Claggett, fucking, you know, Teo versus Perro. I put Perro against anybody. You know, who's putting their hand up to fight Matias in Puerto Rico? Who? Nobody. Perro goes, I'll do that. So at least with Liam, you know you're going to get a guy who's going to be there to fight. You're going to get a guy who's a very skilled boxer who has knockout power but can outsmart you. We saw that against Matias. He used his mind to beat Matias. He used his power to knock out Montana Love. Watch the Brock Jarvis fight. Brock Jarvis was being mentored by Jeff Fennick, an Australian legend, a boxing Hall of Famer. And Brock Jarvis was this bodied up 135er, 140 at the time, I think, and undefeated, 20-0 in the first round. Liam Perro. That's when I first heard of him. Liam Perro comes and starches him, and then started like shoulder shimmying over his cold body. I was like, damn, Liam Perro. He wasn't really getting much love in Australia either up until the Matias fight. Even after the Montana Love knockout, man, the Australian media is weird with that. They're kind of a one-trick pony. They love Tim Tszyu, and rightfully so. But you know, not a lot of love for Jai Patel, not a lot of love for Liam Perro, not a lot of love for George. So we'll see if this Perro victory over Matias changes that. Can't hate on Lopez for calling out the biggest names. That's what a champion should do, but I prefer to see Lopez fight. Aha! On my ramble, somebody beat me to it. Mithander, that we're on the same level. To answer your question, Adrian Arroyo, Lopez is clocked to fight at 2. Well, in less than an hour. This is round 4 of 10 of the co-main. So to answer your question, Teofimo's next. We got Robesi Ramirez versus Benitez, the Cuban southpaw versus the Mexican Orthodox fighter. Robesi Ramirez, 47-11, punches through 3 rounds. So Ramirez is coming off of a loss. Benitez is a huge underdog here, and you're seeing in the numbers, 47-11. Ramirez is laughing at him, well, just having fun in there. This is a much different Robesi Ramirez than his last fight. You're starting to see the Cuban Olympic experience. You're starting to see the 13 wins in a row. Nice footwork. He has subtle footwork. As a Cuban fighter, somebody brought it up earlier, he doesn't have your traditional movement patterns, but his feet are still nice. They're subtle from the southpaw. He'll throw that lead uppercut and then circle out and then circle right back and throw the back hook. I love that movement from a southpaw stance. So here, 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 and then here and catch you. So it's like you're getting caught on my old coach said, catch him on a swing. So like if you have a guy cross stance, you predict their movement patterns and you catch them in a web. Bing, 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 that sort of thing. Robesi is so smooth. His skill set's wild. I need to watch more Robesi Ramirez. 90 seconds left in the fourth. Oh, he Protests the low blow. The Mexican's bloodied up, right eye swollen, cut on the bridge of the nose. Going into the fourth round, Ramirez was up 47 punches to 11 on punches landed. He's just unloading on him now. And you know the Benitez is, oh God, lead hook, beautiful. Robesi is, you don't really see a lot of guys parry with the lead hand and then throw the hook like that. You know, because that's a dangerous proposition when you're fighting ortho, southpaw versus ortho. So what Robesi is doing is, from the southpaw stance, the reason why it's dangerous to do this is because where my lead hand is a southpaw here, I want to come here. The orthodox fighter is right. All they have to do is throw that straight right and catch me right to my head if I don't flip off the angle. So what Robesi is doing is parrying Benitez's jab, slipping off the angle, and throwing the hook around. It's gorgeous. And there's one thing with us watching it saying what Benitez needs to do. There's another thing with trying to execute that when you have a guy like Robesi Ramirez. Oh, he did it again. Lands the hook under, and forces Benitez to miss. 10 seconds. I see why my buddy was so hype on Robesi. Ooh, 3-punch combo. Ooh, nasty work by Robesi. Laughing, smiling. It's a wash. 4 rounds in the books. 4 of 10. That's 10-9 all the way around. It's just, guy, it's just a class issue. You know what I'm saying? Like how he's busted. Benitez is busted. So he's not going to quit on himself. We're going to see how long his corner lets him go with this. But when I say class, I mean quality of opponents, quality of career, quality of technique, class. Everything Robesi does has a fluidity to it. Nothing looks, nothing start and stop. Everything is like this smooth, that sort of thing. And that only comes with a lifetime of fucking boxing. So back when we were talking about Nico Ali Walsh earlier, that's something that, you know, as a 23-year-old who just made his pro debut in 2021, it just takes time to get there. And when you pick up boxing or you become a pro at 21, I don't know what he did as an amateur career, Nico Ali Walsh, but it's the narrative that Tank was using against Frank Martin, and he was right. He was like, Frank Martin picks up the gloves at 18, I picked the gloves up at 6. He was like, there's no way that he's going to make that cut that gap in half of skill set. And we got to see he was right. There's just movement patterns that become ingrained in our neurology when we pick the sport up at a younger age. Any sport, any martial art. When you see somebody who you know, let's say a kid who trained in Taekwondo who makes it to the UFC. There's a kid from Mexico, Yair Rodriguez, and you can see in Yair, he's in his late 20s now. But when Yair was like a 6, 7-year-old, he was high-level Taekwondo tournaments in Mexico, and you see how he uses his spinning techniques and his kicks. And a guy at 18 who picks those kicks up might be in the UFC at 30, but his kicks won't look like Yair Rodriguez's. Same thing with boxing. When you see where punches come from, where they come back to the ear, how somebody's shoulders move, where their neck is, all this stuff, you know, the earlier you can pick that up, the better. Robesi's been doing this his whole life. 5 of 10, a minute gone in the 5th. Benitez is there, though. I mean, you get any – it's why we love Mexican boxers. It's why, like, there's a style called Mexican – they're not going to quit on themselves. But Matt Styles make fights. He's a 13-1 underdog for a reason. He's walking on to everything Robesi's throwing. Swelling under both eyes, a cut under the nose. The only thing that you could think of is Robesi gets caught. Maybe he's having too much fun in there and he stays in the pocket too long and catches a hook. But other than that, you can see where this fight's going. Oh, God! So they just spent the last 5 seconds in the middle of the ring with their heads here and their guards here, and they're just playing this game with their head. Ramirez goes like this, bang, and catches him with a lead hook. It was gorgeous. The sort of that sort of patience in the middle of the ring, head-to-head with your opponent, and not panicking to just do that. Just he's done it 1,000 times. Oh, God, beautiful. Back upper. So I'm an orthodox. So orthodox, that would be a 6-3-2 combo. So rear uppercut, lead hook, cross. Robesi lands that from Southie. So rear uppercut, right hook, which is his lead, and then his left hand, which is his cross. So it's just there. I would throw it like that. He's fun to watch. 20 seconds left in the fifth. Obesi's doing this interesting uppercut to where setting up his power side uppercut from the back, level changing, and on the way up throwing it. So he's kind of hiding it with his hip. Here, hiding it with the hip and shoulder. It's landing. Benitez is bleeding. That's it. Another round in the books. Both eyes are swollen for Benitez. I wonder what his corner is saying. If anyone's watching this, you can hear the corner work. Let me know what they're saying. I got to clear my throat. In between the rounds, I get some water. All right. Oh, shit. Nico Ali. They're showing a replay of Nico Ali Walsh. His shoulder is popped out, and he was trying to pop it back into place. So in that interview, if you guys have been watching the stream since then, it was a dislocation. His shoulder was hanging. And Nico Ali Walsh was trying to pop it back into place. I'm sure you guys will see. That'll definitely go viral because that was pretty gnarly. You can't question Ali Walsh's toughness. Round 6. Teofimo's next, guys. Ramirez up 5. I have him up 5 rounds to none. Huge favorite. Ramirez is Benitez is tough though. His opponent's tough. It's just when I hate saying it, but when they talk about levels to boxing, there's levels. The pedigree of Ramirez is just way far away from the pedigree of Benitez. Oh God. One of the signs of a very skilled technical boxer is somebody who could throw hooks from close proximity. So like when there's no fat, if there's no fat on your hook, I'll use the MMA example again because it's the easiest. Usually MMA hooks are here, right? Boxing, you don't want any fat there. You want it there. So my boxing coach always says, on your hooks, just elbow up. So man, and we actually do a drill if you want to get comfortable throwing your hooks. What pad holder will hold the pad there, and you're not even throwing your hook. You're elbowing it so it gets to here and just turn. So elbow up and there. And over time, you bring the hips and core with you. So that's a hook with no fat on it. Robesi's in the pocket, clinching, head here, landing that. It just shows, I mean, how many hours and hours and hours he's, I mean, Olympic trained. People are like, stop talking about amateur career. Lomachenko's amateur career. Madrimov's amateur career. Ramirez's amateur. I'm not talking about their amateur wins or losses. If you ever hear me say somebody's stellar amateur career, storied amateur career, maybe there's a gold medal attached to it, but what I'm referencing is that now they're a high-level, either world champion or prospect as a pro, and that amateur story career is a sign of their technique, you know, because and their discipline. Olympics in anything, got to be disciplined to make it to that level. So that what I'm referencing when I say storied amateur career, I'm referencing you're going to get a guy who's going to be in there that's disciplined, that's technical, and that knows the game. So that's what I mean. Did you see Roach versus McCory? No, I didn't see it, man. I was hanging out with my girl. Actually, I love my girlfriend too, man. So I got to keep her happy, but I can't be watching boxing and live streaming every night. She's like, I know there's a boxing match on this afternoon, so come over after. So that's why I'm not staying around for I'm going to do an analysis on the Bam fight. I'm just not going to live stream it. I'm pissed I'm not watching the Bam fight, but at least I get to watch Teo fight. Oh, he lands another. Dude, watch Ramirez. His hooks, he catches them. They'll be in the clinch, and he's right there. He's having fun in there. Let's see. Is he ranked number 5 in the world? A low blow, dick shot. Parle versus Tail would be a great matchup. Man, like I said, I'm hoping for I'm hoping for a crazy performance from Lopez because I think it'd be great for boxing. It'll get our mind. Look, guys, we need our minds erased of the toxic turmoil that's happened with Haney and Garcia. You know what I mean? Like in the boxing groups, in the forums, we could erase all that with an electric performance by Teofimo Lopez. And that's what I'm banking on because it's I'm getting tired of talking about it. It's not good for the sport. Nobody came out on top. Nobody's legacy is better now because they fought. And that's the unfortunate bit because that had all the makings, all the trappings of legacy defining stuff. And it will define their legacies, but not in a way that we like to talk about in boxing. On both sides, you know what I'm saying? Teo comes out here and has a professional performance. He acted professional all week, said all the right things. Claggett turned to him in fight week and said, I've been preparing for you for a long time. And Teo just turned to him and said, I know. And he said, I'll be ready. And so it was a side of Teo that I like. And if you follow his Instagram, he always posts quotes from philosophers. So I like that too. Aristotle. That would be a great fight. Round 7, guys of 10. Robesi Ramirez, a Cuban Olympian. 78-26 power shots landed, guys. After going into the 7th round, Robesi Ramirez 78-26. And Benitez was supposed to be the guy. I mean, he big underdog, but his strength was his power. Robesi's 13-2 with 8 knockouts. Benitez 9 knockouts. Net ranked 45 in the world. Hasn't lost since 2019. He has 2 knockout losses. So Robesi probably it's the chin. What's happening though is you see Benitez with 2 knockout losses. Maybe that's why Robesi's taking more power shot, taking way more risks. 73 to 11 after 6 rounds is crazy power shots landed. 90 seconds left in the 7th. Oh, Robesi with a big left hand. All left for the Cuban is to get him out of there. Having not won his last fight, getting that 13-fight win streak broken, you want an electric performance. Get him out of there. Stop playing with your food. What's happening is Ramirez is playing with his food a bit. Oh, he's landing at will. Or when does Benitez's corner think about stopping the fight? Oh, God. Both eyes are swollen. The nose is dripping. There's a cut. It's not like Benitez isn't trying to box. Robesi is pot-shotting him. I don't know about looking for professionals in Mateo, man. I'm talking about in the media stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if you watch any of his interviews this week, he wasn't clowning. He wasn't, dressed in theatrics. He wasn't, he wasn't even really trying to sell the fight that much. He seemed like a guy, way more disciplined in his approach psychologically. Oh, he's out. Call the goddamn fight. Google this knockout. It's going to go viral. I can't show you it. Robesi Ramirez loops under. Oh, God. That fight should have been stopped earlier. Benitez is up against the ropes, right? Robesi Ramirez loops under him. Benitez misses a hook. Ramirez comes right back and catches him with an uppercut there. Gorgeous. A la Leo Santa Cruz versus Tank Davis. Just with a little bit more style points on it. Google it. Go to Top Rank. They'll probably put it up in like 2 minutes. This time you never know what you get from Teo. I know. That's my biggest beef with Teo. Look, Benitez is all heart. He got outclassed. I told you when this stream started, there shouldn't be 13-1 underdogs fighting world champion. Like Benitez was a 13-1 dog. I don't like the idea of sacrificial lambs, man. He looked amazing. This Robesi Ramirez is going to be tough to beat. Up against the ropes, under. Oh. So remember what I meant by remember the Leo Santa Cruz knockout by Tank, but Santa Cruz was against the ropes. Robesi Ramirez was against the ropes. He lures Benitez in, puts himself on the ropes, catches him, boom. Oh, God. Salas needed that win. His stable has been having some troubles in recent years. Agreed. Great coach, though. All right. Yeah, I can't show you this, but go to the internet and see this knockout. You rarely will ever see he walked him into it. Good for him, man. I mean, 14-1 favorite. He needed the win. That puts him now at 14-2 with 9 knockouts. He's won 14 out of his last 15 fights. Does he want that Espinosa loss back? I don't know. But does he just move on from here? 126 pounds. Man, could you imagine Robesi Ramirez versus Shakur at 126? I brought this up last week, and it was just a thought experiment. I know Shakur. Oh shit, Phil Daru in the corner. I didn't know. One of my boys in the corner of Robesi Ramirez, Phil Daru. He's Dustin Poirier's strength and conditioning coach. He's actually on this channel. There's an interview with Phil Daru, Daru, good S&C coach. But I was talking about Shakur, maybe at 30. You know, he's at 35. I don't know how big he is in real life. Imagine if he dropped down to 126, and Inoue came to 26. But that'll never happen. I just like having fun with that sort of stuff. We all do, right? All right, we got one fight. Robesi's in the middle. Go get something to drink. I think Teo's going. Look, Claggett's going to be dangerous for the first few rounds. Just sheer volume. And Lopez is going to want to feel him out because 100 punches per round, you know, that's like walking on a buzzsaw if you don't know what's coming at you. And so I'm expecting Claggett to come out like he always does, wild, aggressive, with a lot of output. I'm expecting Teo to kind of get a feel on what Claggett feels like. You want to get punched. Before you go for it as a fighter, you want to get punched first. You want, it's kind of a double-edged sword. You want to feel your opponent's power, especially if on any level, dude. When I'm sparring, I spar Saturday mornings. So yesterday, I'm 42. I sparred with a 59-year-old yesterday. He was a fucking bricklayer. This motherfucker throws bombs. I have nothing too crazy, just a scuff here. We wear mouthpieces and shit, but I don't like sparring with guys that I don't know. So yesterday, even though he was like an old head with big ass bricks and he wanted to brawl, one of the first things you want to do is touch and just get touched. Be like, all right, I want to see how hard this fool hits. Put a high guard up, either lean in, maybe force him to go to the body, pair up top, catch a body shot. Be like, all right, cool. It ain't too hard. And I think Teo, if he's smart, is going to do that. And the guys at the highest level, they're able to make the decision in a split second when to turn it up. You know what I mean? You saw it. That's why a lot of like big fights, the first round, I don't want to call it a giveaway. That's feeling out process. Errol Spence Jr. versus Buzz Crawford. On the scorecards, everyone gave Errol the first round. And as we know how that fight turned out, we saw why. You know, Terrence wanted to see what it felt like. Sal's needed that win. All right, 130 here. Let's see what the odds are. Okay. The gambling sites say the fight will start. Okay, it's on time. 30 minutes. Claggett's at a 7-1. Some money coming in on Claggett, interestingly enough. Damn, I wanted to watch that Sonny Edwards fight too. So Sonny starts in 12 minutes. Teo starts in 30. Bam fights in an hour. My girlfriend would be so pissed at me if I told her I'm not coming over to watch the Bam fight. But yeah, tomorrow on the channel, guys, make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you hit notifications. Mondays after fights, I'm going to break the fights down. We're going to talk about some punch stats. We'll do a stats don't live video on the output. I don't know how I feel about – what do you guys think about Shushu, Bruce Carrington? They're showing him on the screen. He's with Jared Anderson right now. But people, I've been seeing in boxing groups people talking really big of Bruce Carrington. I saw the highlight of him knocking the one dude out 2 fights ago, and I know he's just coming off a win at the Garden. But people talking about he wants to fight anyway. I'm like, is he ready? Is he that good? Is he ready for that fight? So I'm asking you guys. Crawford always drops the early rounds like Tank. Carrington is great. Won't beat anyway, though. Yeah, so the hype is real, Mathanger, on Carrington. Like I said, I've only seen that viral knockout. I haven't really watched like a start to finish fight with him. But the people are writing about him like to even put your name in the bucket with anyways, that's a pretty – oh, God. Did you guys see the knockout yet? No? Robesi Ramirez? My boys. All right, they're putting up a montage. Teo's walking shortly, so if you guys Go get something to drink or something. He's excited to watch. The polish is not there yet, though. And, guys, it's that polish, mate. If you rush that polish, if it's still a little bit damp and you jump in there with anyway, you're going to come out hurt. It's boxing, man. Timing. That's why I'm not mad about this alleged Tank versus Loma fight in November. Loma's 36. If the fight happens in November, Loma's 36. His birthday's the following February, which will be 37. Tank is 29. He turns 30 in November. So you have a 30-year-old versus basically, on paper, a 36-year-old. That fight happened 7 years ago. You have a 23-year-old Tank. I don't want to see a 23-year-old Tank versus a 30-year-old or 29-year-old Loma. I'm sorry. I'd rather see, because of the polish. Now, once it gets polished, that shit starts chipping. And I don't think Loma is, I don't think it's chipping off yet. I think we've seen his style adjust. He doesn't move. He doesn't waste nearly as much energy moving as much. And he's much more willing to stand and trade. I just think that's electric. And we'll just see if that pressure the Tank puts on you could get to Loma. That's the story. I want to see that narrative. And I want to see a prime Tank do that. I don't want to see a young kid Tank do that. So timing is everything with that sport, with this sport. The polish is not there yet. It's a great quote. Did Barrios expect to win running his tongue out? Oh, he must be watching the. So I got half my boys watching the Estrada card, and I'm here with you guys watching the Teo card. I'm gonna get some water. Don't you go nowhere. He's excited to watch. Commercial break. We're in between. We got the main event coming. Let's see if I can pull up that Robesi highlight without getting flagged here. Did you guys see the Robesi Ramirez knockout? No? Okay, so I want to play you the Nico Ali Walsh video that we watched of him trying to pop his own shoulder back into place. So right there, his shoulder's out of place. He's punching himself to pop it back into place. That is wild. We were watching that fight live, and I thought he was trying to hype himself up. And so that happened in the third. What round was this? I saw that jump. Oh, and he's jumping. That's what I thought too. That dislocated shoulder back into place. What drama here in the last round. Okay, so that's in the 6th round. Yeah, it's already out at this point. Oh God. So let me show you this. Yeah, Ali Walsh won. But peep game. So look, he's jumping. I saw that jump. I didn't know that. I thought he was just trying to. He's trying to pop his shoulder back into place. Trying to pop that dislocated shoulder back into place. Yeah, so he won, but it makes it even more impressive how he went about his business. So Walsh won round 1, 2, and 3. In the 3rd round, he knocks his opponent down in a flurry of exchanges. Rounds 4 and 5 were close. Mark Kriegel gave him to his opponent. I actually gave Ali Walsh the 5th round. And the 6th round, what was happening, his opponent, the Cameroonian fighter, Akale, was fighting in spurts. So bodied up dude, he would take 30 seconds off and then throw these spurts of just chaos. And he was just hoping Ali he would catch Ali. The thing about Ali is, though, that on his defense, he's a lot of holes in fighting off of his back foot. So that's where the holes were. Every time he would be forced back, his hands and his guard, when he would get clipped, he would go like this instead of engaging. So whenever in boxing, a veteran move is whenever your opponent's starting to get off, you grab, you hold. And that's something that he's going to learn. There's a lot of takeaways from this fight. He improves his record, I think, to 10-1 or 11-1. Only been a pro since 2021. Xander Zayas is a prospect. It's funny, though, when these young, athletic, undefeated fighters start coming up the ranks, at a certain level, everybody gives them love. And then at a certain level, they start hating. boxing fans are so fickle. Xander Zayas is one of them. He headlined at Madison Square Garden a little while ago, and I started seeing for the first time in the comments section haters. I'm like, this is a Sam Young kid you guys were cheering for. So it's weird. Boxing's fickle. Walsh is getting tagged a lot by that overhand right and buzz too. He was, man. Wow, that dude's a real boxer. Said it now. He was getting buzzed, Titus, and like rather than staying here or leaning in or engaging, he's backing up like this and he's trying to like do that, chin up in the air. Fernando Vargas. Emiliano. That was a hell of a knockout. If you guys haven't seen that. Emiliano Vargas, Fernando Vargas' son. All right, guys, here we go. We're getting ready. There's no way we're still 30 minutes away. 10 minutes. This is the first fight card that I've seen be pulled forward. Usually these fight cards, we know they're pushed back in terms of starting on time. We talked about the current champions, Pitbull, Cruz, Puello, Pero, and Lopez. But of the four, it's Lopez who's still standing. The landscape has changed so much. And that same thing with the 154-pound division. I was talking about that this past week on the channel, is how imagine this time last year at 154 pounds, if you're Seb Fundora and you're thinking about the energy that division had a year ago compared to right now with Bud Crawford over the last year moving up to 54, fighting Madronov with Seb's win over Zoo and allegedly a matchup with Errol Spence Jr. this fall. 154 pounds, you got Murtazaev as the other champion in that division. So you have Seb Fundora with 2 belts, Madronov with a belt, and Murtazaev with the other belt. And you got Bud Crawford challenging Madronov for the WBA belt, and allegedly Spence is going to fight Seb for his WBC and WBO. So if Bud beats Madronov, he fights the winner of Seb versus EJ to unify. And then if the undisputed, we know that's what Bud's end goal is. We got to somehow figure how Murtazaev factors into that equation. So 154 is super interesting. So is 140. 135. It sucks about 130, man. Nobody, and it's why Shakur got out of there. The 130-pound division is always this kind of like, same thing with 160. You know what I mean? There's certain divisions traditionally. When my buddy Kelly Pavlik fought at 160, and at 160 used to be the division, but lately they're showing highlights of Claggett right now. Mark Kriegel doing the hard truth with Teo. He's questioning about why he's not fighting a star. Wow, this dude's a real boxer. The Vargas brothers are really the game of Kansas. The Vargas brother, what does he say there? The Vargas are really milking the game on cans. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's part of the polish we talked about, though, right? Isn't it? Think about the pressure if you're your Vargas is Fernando's your dad. So the growing scale of how boxing works, evolving from a young prospect, a young up-and-comer to a young prospect to maybe a contender. When your last name is Vargas, you can't do that behind 2 blind eyes. Your whole career is kind of in the spotlight. And so part of one's career, though, look at any fighter we like. Look at their first 10 fights, first 15 fights, first 20 fights. It's against guys with like 15 and 18 records, 20 and 10 records. It's called litmus tests. And you know, it's like when we're young and we find a body of water like a lake or a pond, and you're playing near that water and you grab a stick, you want to see how deep the water is. You grab that stick and put it in. It's kind of like what the part of their career they're in. And but because of that last name, if they're not fighting, you know, it's kind of a double-edged sword. I get what you're saying, though. I totally understand what you mean. They're milking the game on cans. 3 minutes left, and they're going to walk. They sped this up. Tiafimo got the shirt off. All right, this is exciting. it's exciting because we don't know which one we're going to get. 20-0, 13 knockouts. What'd you guys think of the Jermaine Ortiz fight, man? I like what I saw with Ortiz. He boxed well. I couldn't imagine making it to the level of Jermaine Ortiz. Think about his close losses, Lomachenko, Lopez. I couldn't imagine being Jermaine Ortiz in fighting that fight and then losing on the cards. That's one of those ones that would be difficult to get past throughout a career because he fought really well. You know what I mean? Like, I thought he did a lot of good things in that fight. And Teo couldn't really cut him off. His movement really bothered Teo. And that's a lot of the heat that was coming from Teo. All of a sudden, you know, being so young and being so credentialed, people started saying he didn't know how to cut the ring off, rather than saying he's fighting a high-level guy with great footwork, Jermaine Ortiz, who makes it difficult for anyone to cut the ring off. But no, people will just then say Teo can't cut the ring off. The blasphemy in boxing. It's crazy. All right, Teo stretching out. Stretch out. Bang. Gotta get hyped, guys. Come on, main event. What up, boys? Salute Andrew Charles in the crib. What's up, player? We're about to walk on to this Teo fight. Claggett's warming up. Like I said, if you guys don't know anything about Claggett, volume puncher, 100 punches per round he averages. When we talk about a matchup made in heaven for Teo, it's a matchup made in heaven for Teo to shine, meaning stay patient in the pocket, be your accurate self, and find something that Claggett walks in on. You know what I mean? Claggett's a guy 8 in the world, doesn't have the best record. He's won his last 9, 7 by knockouts. You know, he wants to knock you out. Teo knows that. And we're going to see. It's an exciting matchup. I mean, it's the matchup we got. It's not the superstar tandem. We want to see Teo unifying. We want to see our champions unifying. That's what we want. So he has an exciting performance here. If he has an exciting performance here, then we talk about unifying wherever. Pero, Pitbull. I don't think many fools want to fight Puello, but we know Puello has a partner. He has an opponent already named. But he's a tough out. That body, he's long for the division. Commercial. I can't stand these commercials, though, man. Is anyone watching this in America? You guys definitely don't have the same bullshit commercials we have in Australia. I guess it's based on what streaming service you guys are watching it on. He's fighting. So, yeah. Sandor Martin. Okay, so we know the 140-pound landscape. We know that Liam Paro takes Matias's belt, so he has the IBF. We know that Teofimo's fighting for his belt right now against fucking Claggett. Pitbull Cruz is the champ, and then Puello took Devin Haney's WBC. Devin Haney's a champion in recess. Puello is now the full champion fighting Sandor Martin, and they also announced that Gary Antoine Russell, due to the close proximity of his fight with Puello, is the guy in waiting to fight the winner of Puello versus Sandor Martin. And, I mean, could you imagine if I'm a big Gary Antoine Russell guy, but you got to see he goes into that Puello fight 17-0 with 17 knockouts, and you got to see a guy who was forced to make an adjustment. He won all the early rounds. I had him up at least 4-0, maybe 3-1, and you got to see a knockout artist, though. He's 27 years old, still young in his career. At the time, he only had like 49 the pro rounds he had. I did a video on this. Going into the Alberto Puello fight, in the 17 wins, Gary Antoine Russell had like, I think, 70 pro rounds. It was something crazy. So what we saw in that Puello fight is a guy, a knockout artist, who was trying to figure out in the mid-rounds when he realized he couldn't get him out of there, how to win the fight. And it's going to be great for his career. And this is why having one loss, a few losses on your record shouldn't fucking matter, because imagine if Gary Antoine Russell fights the winner of Puello and Martin, which is going to happen. Whoever it is, Martin or Puello, Gary gets that victory, and then Haney comes back. I'd love to see Antoine Russell versus Haney. This is a guy in the amateurs. Gary Antoine Russell beat Jerron Boots Ennis 3 times. Once again, it's the amateurs. Boots was a smaller dude. He really is blown up in his body type. But there's a lot of things happening at 40. So That's another. I love a division with movement. What up, bro? Salute. This division is wild. Tio can be on top. Yes, right? How excited? If you're a Teofimo Lopez fan, a diehard, you should be excited about this matchup. You know what I mean? And boxing should be excited. Teofimo Lopez can rid our memories of the toxicity of Garcia and Haney. You know what I'm saying? Because Bill Haney, Ryan Garcia, they're trying their best to stay in the limelight. And, you know, nothing, no disrespect to either camp. But for the boxing sport, the fandom, the casuals, and the boxing heads, we need something else to fucking talk about. And I'd much rather talk about an electrical performance by Teofimo Lopez than talk about Ryan Garcia calling Bill Haney a pedo. You know what I'm saying? That's just not good for the sport. And, you know, that I don't like talking about it. It pisses me off. I'm a boxing purist out here. All right, they're showing the top rank montage. You got Loma on the screen. You got Inoue on the screen. And we're getting ready for a title fight, boys and girls. Make sure you're subscribing to my channel, man. And if I just found out today, if you hit the notification button, I do YouTube live streams Monday through Friday, about 20 minutes to talk about the goings-on of boxing. In a perfect world, like how you guys watch ESPN, there's nothing that I can watch that's like a ticker every day, not a website, but somebody talking to me about boxing, what's going on. And that's what I do on my live stream. So hit that notification. Claggett's walking out right now. It's tough for me. His nickname is the Dragon. Come on, mate. Like that, the Dragon. You must call me Night Dragon. No, that's not a good fight. I'm sorry. There was Bruce Lee. There was one, the only. But, oh, so Steve Claggett, you're the Dragon? Is that what you are? Do you want me to call you Dragon? All right, 8-1 dog. He's in the ring. Dude, he's a puncher. This guy's a mid-30s, now or never. Rocky story. The Canadian thinks he's more psychologically tough than Teofimo Lopez. He's the knockout artist. 7 out of 9 wins are by knockouts. He's an 8-1 dog. The lights are off. They're about to call Teo out. Let's go, champ. So they're showing the montage of Lopez. Man, he's had some big wins for his career, mate. Like, Teo's still young, too, man. People, we need to remember that. He still has so many moments left in his career. What, he became at 22. Oh, he's wearing the all-white tuxedo with the gold trim and a gold bow tie, and he's dancing. Oh, channeling as Michael Jackson. So he's wearing an all-white tuxedo with the white shorts. Yeah, Michael Jackson, gold trim, gold bow tie. And he's those white and gold Nikes are off the hook. He has some all-white Nikes with the gold trim looking clean. I like this motif way better than what he wore against Jermaine Ortiz. I didn't like the whole showman outfit, the red and blue thing. But this all-white with the gold trim is slick. And he's doing a little dance. Teo. Oh, this shit's hilarious. Teo's growing on me. I've been hard on Teo in the past. Yeah, man. That's the thing about it's always good. That's why boxing, one of the unsaid things about being a boxing fan is when that happens, Andrew. It's like it's happened to me before. It's like you find yourself, you used to be a hater, and then you find yourself, due to how they go about their business or whatever it may be, whatever your interests are piqued by, you start cheering for them. And you're like, that doesn't happen in a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like, if I don't like you as a musician, I'm probably not going to like you. Same thing with acting. But with combat sports, it's the spirit of the sport. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see somebody's species, you see their DNA, however they do it, and then you're like, damn, man, I like that. I can relate to it. So he's currently ranked number 4 in the world at 140 pounds. Number 2 American. He is the WBO champ. This is that belt. 26 years old, 5'8", 68.5-inch reach. And let's see, he fought Loma as a 22-year-old, guys. He was 22 years old. That's when he beat Lomachenko. He fought Richard Comey. My bad. He's 20. Yeah, he fought Richard Comey 5 years ago. And Comey was a world champion. That's when he first, in 2019, so 5 years ago, Teo was 21. Fought world champ, a tough Richard Comey, too. Don't sleep on those Ghanaian boxers. I like Richard Comey, man. I like watching him fight. There's a great little documentary about the boxers from Ghana. It was back when Vice, VICE, used to actually do real journalistic work, and they would do like Vice documentaries, and they did this 11 to 12-minute one. I think it's still on YouTube, on the champions who come from Ghana. And these guys don't have floors. They don't have shoes. They're using tied up ropes as gloves. And Richard Comey was a product of that. And so I always cheered for him. And Chris Algieri was his coach. Chris Algieri used to do the nutrition for Comey. All right, here we go, the intros. This shit always gets me hyped. Who you guys going for? Claggett is scrappy, boy. Hasn't Bud dropped majority of his belt. I'm hearing that Stanny is elevated to full champ. I haven't looked yet, but Stanionis is a motherfucker, the Lithuanian. I haven't looked at that Bath Animal. I've been kind of tough. Let me check that out. Might as well do it right now. Stanionis is a motherfucker, dude. He can scrap. Terrence Crawford. He should, though. Stop holding the goddamn. Boxing pound for pound list. Teofimo Lopez challenges Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford out. Lopez brands Jerv. I don't see anything yet. I'm checking Beth Animal right now. I'll go to the rankings to see if the belts are gone in BoxRec. There's Boxing Source Bot. He still lists as the WBA, WBC, and WBO welterweight champ. I haven't seen anything. Claggett's getting announced right now as we speak. And like you guys, if you're like most of us, we've never seen Claggett fight before. Volume puncher, averages 100 punches a round, 9 wins in a row, 7 of them by knockout. We know what he wants to do. Think about a meat dropping into a blender. If Teo could be that blade going like this to all that pressure, Teo could have a fucking spectacular knockout, and all could be forgiven in the world of Lopez. And the 140-pound division will have a standard guy on top, considering he's been there the longest. And we can finally stop talking about what happened a few weeks back with Haney and Garcia. Fight time, never seen Claggett fight. Fight time, let's go to work. Stanionis, BoxRec. 15-0. Did he get elevated? Oh shit! WBA welterweight champion. Was Stanionis already a champion? Because his BoxRec does have him WBA world welterweight champion. Teo's doing his little. Stanionis is already 29 years old. All right, round one's about to start. I believe it's an interim. It says it's full now. So you were right, mate. Who'd you hear this from? We got breaking news on this channel. Stanionis is elevated to full champion. Right here. WBA World Welterweight Champion. It's already been changed on BoxRec. Nice. All right, guys, we got the fight. We're going to be focusing here on Teo versus Claggett. Claggett's going to be most dangerous in rounds 1 through 4. Let's see what sort of style we get from Teo. High guard. Claggett presses forward, takes the center of the ring, pushes Teo back. Teo using that beautiful footwork, circling away. This is classic ortho versus ortho. So both guys want to circle away from their opponent's right hand, meaning that Teofimo Lopez is circling, walking into it right now. He wants to go right, not left. Oh, nice quick combo. Teo looks switched on. 30 seconds gone. They're both exchanging jabs. A lot of movement. No one's standing still. Teo level changes, misses. Claggett with nice head movement. Claggett has his traditional high guard, and he's throwing the jab here, trying to take control of the center. Teo's back's against the ropes. Teo's doing a nice that whole thing. Teo looks smooth. Claggett looks a bit tough. Claggett looks a bit stiff at this point. And I don't like how loose when Claggett is walking in and he's throwing his jab, his right guard loosens up. So he moves his right hand. Teo with a nice little counter hook right there. A minute gone in the first. Things are already heating up. Lopez has some redness on his nose. Maybe something got through. Throws a double left hook. Claggett is walking Teo down. But, guys, this is how Claggett fights. Catches Lopez in the corner. Oh, counters Lopez with a counter right hook. Claggett to the body. Lopez with a lead hook. still in the corner. Lopez is comfortable fighting off the ropes, but you don't want to stay there too long against a guy who wants to throw more volume. 90 seconds left. Both guys are speed. Yeah. Appreciate you, Rosalie. A minute 20 left in the first. Claggett's volume is there. It's exactly what he's looked like his whole career. He hasn't lost in 10 fights, guys. 7 wins, 9 wins, 7 by knockout. Teo looks patient and comfortable with the volume. His eyes are there. He's very aware. He needs to stay out of the corner, though, because if this thing is going to go to the cards, it's not a good look for the judges. I don't think it's going to make it to the cards. The volume Claggett's putting on is ridiculous. 35 years old. Lopez catches him with a big right hook, 45 seconds in the first. So if you're not watching, Claggett is walking from the middle here. So his guard's staying high. But every time he throws his step and jab, this drops. And so Lopez is already seeing it, catching him with that lead hook. Because as an orthodox fighter, this is my right hand. My jab is my left. If that drops, I'm fighting another orthodox fighter. That's wide open for the lead hook. Lopez with beautiful work to the body. 20 seconds left in the first. Claggett's still walking him down. This first round has played out exactly what we thought. I'm actually impressed with how much volume Lopez has thrown back. 10 seconds left. Lopez is back against the ropes. Nice counter right hand. Dude, Teo's technique is so clean. Round 1, fast-paced round. These guys are out sprinting. The boys are out there sprinting. Guys, if you're not a subscriber to my channel, hit subscribe, hit notifications. All the big fights, I do a watch party. We live stream it. But I do video breakdowns of all this stuff too. If you like boxing, a non-divisive approach, right down the middle, that's my channel, man. Grew up boxing, I coach boxing. It's a blood sport. There's no reason anybody out there should be making money off of talking shit about fighters. That's my biggest beef right now with the YouTube boxing influencers, guys with a couple 100,000 subs. You know, I just started this, but I peek into their channels and they're talking trash about fighters, and it's like, bro. You're fat ass. When's the last time you stepped out the couch and threw a punch? You're gonna talk about a dude who puts his life on the line and call him a bum because he got knocked out? Like that'll never happen here. So if you want that, you should probably leave because you're not gonna get it. The punches Claggett just threw, most punches landed. So the top 5 punches landed in a 10-round fight in boxing history. Steve Claggett is number 5. I wish I would have known that. Mike McCallum is number 2. Nico Macias is 1. Claggett threw 512 punches in a fight before. Number 5 all-time on BoxRec. That's a crazy stat. Okay, 16-10. So Claggett throws 67. Teo throws 62, 26% clip. Teo lands more, 16-10, which is interesting. We know he's an accurate puncher, though. Once again, Lopez is back against the ropes. He's working the body early. So in the first round, we saw him land a couple power shots to the body. Because they're both ortho versus ortho, Teo wants to land his lead uppercut or lead hook to the right side of Claggett for the liver, and that's what he's working on. So if you guys didn't know, the liver is under our right near our right armpit here, right below the pec. And when that shit gets touched, that's when you see boxers have a delayed reaction. It's not like getting hit in the chin. You know, in the chin, you sometimes can tough it out if you see it coming. You get hit to the liver on the spot, on the button, it's not a toughness thing. It's your body shutting down. And so Lopez is trying to soften that area up. He's looking for it. He's low. A minute gone in the second. A lot of action here, guys. It's crazy. And right now, Claggett doesn't respect Lopez. Claggett is smothering Lopez, but Lopez is up for it. It's not like – so what Claggett's doing is he's smothering Lopez against the ropes, and it's not like Lopez is pulling one of these. Lopez is punching out and then moving his feet around, circling. Claggett at 35's conditioning after a round and a half is admirable, but we'll just see. This is a 12-round fight if he could keep this up. You can see the game plan. We knew it going into fight week. We knew it when this fight was going to get called. When we started researching Claggett, what the game plan was going to be, what it had to be. It was to drown Teofimo Lopez, to put him on his back foot, to out-volume and out-punch him and make him uncomfortable and see if he can make a mistake. Right now, he's trying to set that game plan in motion. There's a minute left in the second round. Teo's popping off the ropes. Nice circle right, using his nice footwork. Great counter uppercut by Lopez. From a class standard of skill, it's evident who has it. From a gritty side, Claggett's all grit. Oh, nice left hook by Claggett. Lopez is throwing his shots back. Lopez is working the body. I love the body work early. 50 seconds. This round is heating up. They're standing right in front of each other. Lopez's hands down with his head here doing one of these. high guard against the rope, stuck in the corner. Claggett's working. 35 seconds left in the second round. I think Claggett averaged above 100%. He does. Yeah, Claggett's the output's wild. So Teo's game plan in the first 2 rounds we've seen, 20 seconds left in the second, is to wear Claggett down to the body early, because the greatest way to stop the pressure, hurt him to the ribs or hurt him to the liver. And so I can't wait till we see those stats. These first 2 rounds, Teo's body work is off the hook. More body work, 10 seconds in the second. They're exchanging. Oh, Teo with a nice combination. Okay, round 2 in the books. Interesting. You got, 2 rounds of seeing Claggett. How do you not like the guy? Right eye swollen, blood trickling down from his nose. He's in a fight. Now I see why the Canadians love this dude. This guy's super drunk. Oh, God, that's a Teo fan. Andrew Charles, great comment. Oh, thanks, man. That's the first time anyone's ever done that. I didn't even know you could do that. Let's celebrate their 5th Super on a live stream. That's awesome. No one's ever done that, Andrew Charles, so thank you. I appreciate that. That's pretty rad. Claggett is no slouch, Will. I'm impressed from a boxing spirit, this is Claggett's Rocky moment, and he talked about that, and he's fighting like it. He's not fighting like a guy who's intimidated, and that's super admirable. And he's gonna put Claggett in a position, or he's gonna put Lopez in a position to fight him. And at 35 years old, Claggett said that in an interview. He's gonna put Teo in a position to have to knock him out, which I like to hear. Claggett said, "I'm gonna force Teo to knock me out, because if he doesn't knock him out, Claggett's gonna win." And that's what we're seeing. It's that meat in a blender. 42-27 total punches landed. Claggett's thrown 148. Teo's thrown 132, not far behind his output. Lopez is the more accurate fighter and has landed more. And we talked about it earlier, guys. Claggett was going to bring the best out of Lopez, and this is not the Lopez against Jermaine Ortiz, because Claggett's not moving anywhere but forward. This is an exciting fight. 30 seconds gone in the 3rd round. Teo's not missing much, man. Teofimo Lopez is accurate. He doesn't wait. Ooh, nice counter to the body. If you guys aren't watching the first 2 rounds, Lopez is working the body, trying to break Claggett down, trying to slow that pressure down. But as we speak, a minute gone in the 3rd, Lopez has fought this whole round with his back against the ropes. Claggett is taking him, swelling under his right eye, a little bit of blood under the nose, but that's not going to stop the Canadian. This is the fight he wants. Claggett wants this fight. It's his opportunity to become a world champion at 35 years old. They're exchanging blows. Rights, left. Lopez under. Claggett lands a left hand. A minute 45 left in the 3rd. Oh, Lopez with the 4-punch combo. Oh, Lopez grins. Dude, they're going to war right now. Lopez with a big overhand right. He's boxed. Lopez sitting down on some power shots. Claggett going off of Claggett's guard. Claggett's not moving his head much, but he's coming in with that high guard. Here. Lopez is back against the ropes, and he's starting to figure Claggett out a bit. Lead him with that lead shoulder clinch, throwing that right hand off of the lead shoulder clinch, meaning that they're both orthodox fighters. Lopez's lead shoulder's here, Claggett's lead shoulder here. And what Lopez is doing is leaning on the ropes, bumping, right hand. So backhand, back hook, and then under. Claggett with a nice jab, a minute left. This is all action, guys. This is chaos. 1 minute left in the 3rd round. Claggett, nice right hand. Lopez, nice body work. I'd like to see Claggett go to the body a bit more. I appreciate you, Andrew Charles. 2 code in the house. Canada, what's up? Dude, Claggett's a dog, dude. Much respect. A lot of pressure. 45 seconds. Lopez still sticking to the game plan, working that body. Claggett still controlling the center. Put Lopez in the corner. Lopez with a huge right uppercut. Claggett with the high guard. Doesn't move his head a lot. Here, that sort of thing. Lopez, uppercut to the body. 30 seconds left in the 3rd. Ooh, 4-punch combo from Claggett. Lopez with the big overhand right that just misses. This pace is wild. 13 seconds left in the 3rd. They're exchanging. Lopez has a little bit of swelling under his right eye, circles out to the left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 3 in the books. Exciting fight. I'm going to grab some water. About to show some stats. Very high pressure. 3 rounds in the books. I got to be honest. I'm impressed on both ends. Claggett's impressed me on his aggression, on his just gamesmanship. And Teo's impressed me too with his willingness to stay there and trade. Teo looks actually more comfortable exchanging than he does moving right now. I like this side of Lopez. He's in a fight. If people thought the first video I did on this matchup, I was saying if people thought Claggett was just going to get washed, the first few rounds he's going to be dangerous. So this is round 4. I expect this round to be equally as competitive as the first 3, but I think this is going to be a swing round, not in terms of judging, but in terms of Claggett's pressure and cardio. I just can't see him continuing this pace into the mid-rounds, but he's looking good so far. Lopez's back is up against the ropes. Claggett's continuing his pressure, right hand over the top. Lopez with a combo. Claggett with a combo. Lopez circles out left. Claggett high guard. Lopez's ropes are back against the ropes. Claggett lands a double jab. Nice hook to the body by Claggett. Lopez is walking into the corner by himself. He's inviting Claggett now, countering big right hand. Lopez lands a flurry of punches, a 5-piece, body, head, circles out to the left. Claggett's guard's high. Nothing really got through. The body shots by Lopez are nice. 1 minute gone in the 4th. A lot of volume. Right now, Lopez is equaling the pace and landing at a higher level, and that's the difference in the fight, is Lopez's accuracy. Oh, Claggett with a nice jab snacks Lopez's head back. Nice right hook over the top by Claggett. 1:45 left in the 4th. Catches Lopez with 2 jabs. Kind of looking at the lights there, Lopez. Claggett lands a right hook over the top. Lopez lands a left hook over the top. Lopez to the body. Claggett answers the call. Big right hand over the top by Claggett. Lopez guards up in the corner. Good round by Claggett so far. 90 seconds left in the 4th. Lopez has to get out of there. Body work. Claggett's finally working the body. Lopez throws a counter right hook to the top. Lands. Finally, right hand over the top. Algieri talks about Claggett has a lot of liver knockouts, and he finally starts showing the body work in the 4th round. There is another lean and shoulder by Claggett throwing the hook off of the break. Teo circles. Teo needs to move more. This is an instance where Lopez needs to move more. His feet are kind of getting caught in the sand, in the mud a bit, looking at Claggett's work and just staying there and rolling. Oh, big right uppercut by Lopez. 1 minute left in the 4th. Claggett wears it well. Walks right onto him. Claggett has a chin on him, tough as nails. Lopez kind of looks at him like, what the hell, expecting him not to be there. Huge uppercut. Didn't really show. Claggett wears it well, exchanges Lopez against the ropes. 30 seconds left in the 4th. That high guard, Claggett left hook, Lopez left hook. They're exchanging hooks. Lopez looks as comfortable as I've ever seen him up against the ropes and in the corner. Makes Claggett miss. 20 seconds left. Nice body work by Lopez. Claggett returns the favor up top. Lopez down low. 5-piece combo by Lopez. Claggett throws a jab to the body, right hook back to the head. 10 seconds, they're exchanging. Claggett walking him down. Lopez throwing bombs. Claggett lands a big hook to the left. Lopez, big body shot. Combination as the round ends. Wow, chaos. Woo. Chaos. Claggett is out. He's coming out swinging. This is an exciting-ass fight. The fans are going crazy. Lopez's corner looks cool, calm. Claggett's corner looks a bit more stressed out. Claggett has swelling under both eyes. His nose is bleeding. His corner, they're aware, but Claggett's not sitting down between any of the rounds either, which is interesting. He is in immaculate shape. That's an adjective that you don't really hear for describing someone's cardiovascular system, but Claggett's cardio is through the roof. I'd like to see what his strength and conditioning is, because Teo's in between rounds, generally you would sit on the stool. Claggett's staying standing. Great fight. I agree. So right now, the interesting thing about the statistics for how high volume Claggett is, and he's not as accurate as Lopez. Lopez is keeping up just slightly behind the volume, but landing more because how accurate he is. And that's just a testament to Teo's skill set. Kriegel has it 40-36, and I can't argue. But obviously, Claggett's lost every round. But this is the closest 40 to 36 fight I've seen in a long time, if that makes sense. And you know, even if every round went like this, people would say that's the closest White like Walsh. So 328 to 309. Lopez has actually thrown more than Claggett, and I knew that might have been the case. 328 to 309. Oh, Claggett's starting to find out the home for that liver punch. I don't like Lopez staying on the corner, but it's working for him. What's happening is in between the pauses of Claggett pressuring Lopez, firing a combination, and then regarding, it's in those moments where Teo is winning. He's landing more combos when Claggett pauses, and then he's moving, making Claggett readjust his feet. And Claggett's going to have to address that, or else this is going to get 12 rounds just like this, or Teo's going to do what I predicted and knock Claggett out in the 9th or 10th. Because what that movement is going to lead onto is Claggett going to get a deer in the headlights look in between that pause. Claggett's going to land, regard. Lopez is going to angle out and catch Claggett off of an angle and knock him out. And that's what I'm kind of envisioning. And if that does happen, I'm going to break this video up and make myself look like a genius. But that's what I'm seeing here. If anyone else is watching this, Claggett stands between rounds. See, Tim Molina, I need to watch more Tim Claggett or Steve Claggett because I'm a fan. Claggett's still in front of him. 2 minutes gone in the 5th. Teofimo Lopez back in the corner. This is kind of the agreement that they both kind of subtly agreed to. Claggett's like, I'm going to push you against the ropes. Lopez is like, bring it on. I'm going to counter you, and I'm going to hold your volume up. Right now, the volume equally 329 to 318 over 4 rounds. Lopez has landed and thrown more than Claggett, which is interesting. But Claggett's footwork is pressuring Lopez against the ropes from the very first part of the round to the end of the round. 45 seconds left in the 5th. Nice jab by Claggett. Lopez smiles at him. Lopez has swelling around the nose now. Nice body work by Claggett. Claggett allegedly has over 10 knockouts to the liver. Body knockouts is crazy, and he's starting to try to set that up. He started landing more to the body last round, just landed a nice liver shot, nice right hand to the body. Teo sitting on the ropes. Nice body work by Teo. 20 seconds left in the 5th. When they exchange and they're standing, this is a nice angle by Teo. I'd like Teo to throw a punch off of the angle. When he's angle changing right now, he's just doing it to reset. But as Claggett slows on that angle, there's a counter right there before Claggett gets reset. End of round 5. Nice hook for both. Competitive fight. Claggett is switched on, and I don't know if Teofimo Lopez is looking frustrated or annoyed. I can't really tell at this moment. Lopez kind of looked at him with like a look of like, you know, maybe you give your little brother if you're playing backyard basketball and, you know, you're just chilling, you were out drinking, and he's like playing a bit too hard. And you kind of look at him like, what are you doing? There ain't no scouts out here. All right, Teo's smiling at the screen. He doesn't look frustrated. He looks like he's having fun in there. They're working on his right eye. He has swelling around the right eye. It's boxing. That's going to happen. Claggett, I guess we just learned that Claggett just stands in between rounds. What a stud. I'm a fan. His stock is already, however this goes, I mean, his stock is raising, at least in America. I wonder what anybody blogging this fight, what are the bloggers saying right now? Let's go. Let's check that out. What are they saying about this fight? Estrada, Claggett, live as well. Some of these boxing writers on these websites are fucking laughable. They talk so much shit. Round 6 starts. Teo with a double jab lands both of them. He's on his bike a bit more this round. Circles right, circles left. Claggett, high guard. Hasn't landed anything yet. Nice. Lopez is circling around already more than he has been the last few rounds. It's only 30 seconds gone in the 6th. He's not letting Claggett get stationary, and that's a good adjustment because the first few rounds, even though Lopez is winning, he's getting hit more than he has to be getting hit. And I think because he's kind of getting caught fighting Claggett's fight, his corner had to tell him, hey, mate, after you land a combo, use your footwork. You don't have to stand there and let him hit you right back. And I'm seeing more movement already by Lopez. Oh, nice body work. We're in round 6. Like I said, doing the breakdown, I predicted a round 9 or 10 finish for Lopez based off of me not having faith in Claggett's cardio to last all 12. But a minute gone in the 6th, Claggett's cardio is right where it was in the. Neither one of them look like they're faint. Oh, big combo by Lopez. He stuns him with a right hand. Claggett walks through it again. Lopez grins at him, almost like, what the hell, mate? Throws a right hand over the top. Claggett with his own work. They kind of look at each other, reset, and go right back at it. 90 seconds left in the sixth. Claggett with a beautiful jab, snaps Lopez's head back. Lopez with a nice right uppercut to the left part of the body. Left uppercut to the ribs. Claggett with a nice jab. Lopez is back against the ropes. 90 seconds left in the sixth. Lopez still moving his head, shaking, doing a, atypical Teofimo shoulder shrug. Nice head movement. He's not moving as much as I want him to move. Claggett with a nice combination. You can't just stand in front of Claggett. Claggett double jab, backs Lopez up against the ropes. Head movement. Lopez with a little bit of a shoulder shrug. A minute left, smiles at Claggett, almost like an admiration giggle, like, damn, bro, you're tough. Nice jab hook to the body by Lopez. Claggett pushes him up against the ropes. A minute left in the sixth. Claggett takes 3 shots to the dome. Overhand right by Claggett, misses. Lopez counters with a nice left hook to the body. Claggett level changes, jab to the body, jab to the head by Claggett. Lopez with a double jab. A lot of action in this round. This round, right hook to the body by Claggett. 30 seconds left. They're exchanging. Lopez against the ropes. Claggett high guard. Lopez with the split guard. Body, liver shot. Both connect to the head. Lopez takes a deep breath. Claggett high guard forward. Lopez slips. Claggett lands a jab. 25 seconds left in the sixth. What a fight. Nice jab by Claggett. Claggett's disciplined. Right hand over the top. Rolls out of danger by Teofimo Lopez. So 10 seconds, they start exchanging. Lopez with the right hand. Claggett with the high guard. Lopez misses with an uppercut, lands with the right hook. Round ends. Shoulder shrug, both of them. Whew. I think this is styles make fights, and people are excited. They're not too excited about Harutnian being ranked 45th in the world, taking on Shakur, but they are excited about the style that Harutnian possesses against Shakur. I think fans just need to see Shakur in a fight like where his opponent brings it out of him, because that's what we want to see. July, next weekend, in Newark, New Jersey, Stevenson versus Harutnian. So right now, Teofimo's landing at 30%. Claggett's landing at 19%. There's swelling over both eyes, but we know Teo in all of his fights, he gets the swelling here. He hasn't, no cuts yet, which is good. Claggett looks fresh, standing up, staring Lopez down, looking like a zombie. A little bit of swelling on his right eye. Oh, they charge to the center. Teofimo lands with a left hook. This is round 7. Yeah. Oh, big right hand by Lopez. Nice body work by Lopez. Yeah, I don't know what they're saying, because obviously I'm talking to you guys. For Claggett to be getting no love by the commentary, that's straight up disrespectful. Claggett is showing all the heart in the world. He's making Teo fight. He's pushing up against the ropes. Nice jab by Claggett. He's basically putting himself in danger, but it's his style. Nice right hand over the top. They haven't even mentioned him standing in between duel. They haven't even brought up Claggett standing in between rounds. I mean, from a cardiovascular perspective and a professionalism of staying in shape, you never see that in boxing. Every now and then you'll see it in MMA. Just to see it on this level is pretty impressive. They're claiming Teo's dominating. Well, Teo is dominating on the scorecards duel. That's the thing. That's why, from a 10-9 perspective, Lopez is winning. But just because somebody's losing doesn't mean that they're not doing things well. This is World Championship boxing. Big left hand by Claggett. Lopez returns the favor. Big right hand over the top. Claggett, Lopez with a combo. Claggett with a combo. Every time Lopez answers, Claggett's right there. And every time Claggett throws something, Lopez is right there. Nice left hand to the body. Claggett pushes him up in the corner. 90 seconds left in the 7th. Just because a guy's losing a fight doesn't mean he's not doing something properly. And that's what the commentary is lacking from what you're telling me, is that you could be down on the cards in a 12-round fight every round. That doesn't mean you're not doing anything well. That should be spoken about. Claggett's conditioning, him pressuring Lopez, forcing Lopez to fight him. That in itself, 8-1 underdog in the fight, a guy that no one really heard of, pushing the world champion like this, a minute left in the 7th. Lopez, to be honest, Lopez hasn't looked uncomfortable yet in the fight. Claggett's yet to make him look uncomfortable to where he looks like, he's kind of worried. But that being said, both of Lopez's eyes are swollen. Oh, big right hand! Awkward exchange. Lopez thought he got hit with a low blow. The ref didn't stop it. Turned his back to Claggett, and Claggett landed a punch. All's good now. They're back. 30 seconds left. Guys, if you're ever in a fight, don't ever stop punching unless the ref stops you. We learned that before Victor Ortiz, Floyd Mayweather. Left jab, 20 seconds left. Jab, they're exchanging jabs. Lopez is back against the ropes. Body work by Lopez. I want to see Lopez take more risks and try to get him out of there. Claggett's there for it. Big right hand by Lopez. Claggett's tough as nails. Body shots, ripping the body. Both guys, left hook by Lopez. Bell rings. End of the round. They're not even staring at each other. Lopez looks unhappy that the fight is this. Yeah, that's what I mean. He looks unsatisfied. No smiling. It looks like I can't tell if Lopez is annoyed or if he's like shocked that it's this tough. But based on his headspace this past week doing all the interviews, he said he was going to expect it to be tough. Yeah, Lopez's uppercut's on point tonight, but Claggett's countering him. Yeah, I said that Algieri's saying what we spoke about 2 rounds ago. When Lopez is landing, he needs to exit. What he's getting caught doing is landing, staying stationary, and letting Claggett counter. And that's been happening all fight. And that's why the stats, even if you could give Teo all 7 rounds. But the stats aren't wide. It's a close 7-0 fight, which you don't see a lot in boxing. Claggett's there. Let's see, you know what? And now let's see if Lopez could catch Claggett coming on to something, which a lot of people think is going to happen, or if Claggett could frustrate Lopez enough to catch him. Nice movement by Lopez. Every round he starts with nice movement, but as the round goes later, he starts standing stationary. Round 8 of 12. Nice left hook. Claggett hasn't taken one step back. Double jab to the head. Claggett does not look like he's slowing down at all. A minute gone in the 8th round. Lopez is firing back. Nice uppercut. Lopez's uppercut's on point tonight. It's the best it's looked in a few fights. His lead uppercut, too. Not even his right uppercut's landing, but his lead uppercut here to the head and his lead uppercut to the liver is on point. He's landed that a few times on Claggett, and he's actually using that lead to set up his back uppercut as 6. A minute gone in the 8th. Claggett's still not taking a step back, taking a few more shots. Nice jab, lands up to the head of Lopez. I don't know if Lopez thinks Claggett could hurt him. Nice body work by Lopez. Yeah, the body shots are crazy. Chris Algieri just mentioned that. Teo's body work's been on point, and Teo's uppercut. But when you have a guy like Claggett who's walking you down, you better be throwing punches to the body. So that's kind of a statistical outcome based on circumstance. He's just pawing at him. The one thing I like about Claggett's style is every time Lopez catches him, he throws something back. Nice 5-punch combo to the body by Claggett. Nice jab to the head by Claggett. Misses over the top. Lopez sitting on the ropes. Nothing really land. Big right hand by Lopez. Kind of smiles at him. Big right hand by Lopez. Oh! Big right uppercut by Lopez. Lopez has him hurt. Oh, he's going to get him out of there. Will Claggett survive? 55 seconds left in this round. They're exchanging. Lopez is going for the kill. Big right uppercut. Claggett's on the ropes for the first time. Claggett has to grab and clinch. Lopez is kind of letting him off the hook here. Claggett puts the pressure back on. Claggett just overcame a flurry that a lot of guys would have been out. Big right hand by Lopez over the top. He's still not right. That uppercut, left hook. Claggett returns a jab. Claggett's tough as nails. Right hand by Claggett. Lopez is back against the ropes. Lopez has to be thinking, what do I have to hit this kid with? Big right uppercut, another one. Claggett's just eating these. Oh, right hand over the top by Lopez. 20 seconds left in the 8th. Oh, big left hook by Lopez. Claggett with a nice right hand. Right hand by Lopez. Oh, big right. It's the right uppercut from Lopez. Oh, big left hook by Lopez. Jesus. The shot at the buzzer. Lopez lands a huge left hook. Claggett's guards down. All right. I got to say, he didn't get dropped, but he's taking a lot of shots now. And, I mean, as your corner man, you got to make this decision. I mean, he's 35 years old. He's taking a lot of shots. And that round, he sits down for the first time. He took a lot of power shots that round. Yeah, we see where this fight's trending. Ooh. If you guys watch UFC, I don't know if you remember a couple years ago, Cody Garbrandt fought a guy named Rafael Sunsao. And Garbrandt, at the end of the second round, with a right hand, slips down and throws a fucking caveman of an uppercut and knocked his Sunsao out. Flush. Lopez is doing the same thing and is landing that same thing a few times on Claggett just in that round. All right. $80 to $72. Yeah, he is being tested. Mark Kriegel talking about that same thing. Some of the frustration it looks like that Teo has is the shots that – oh, big stiff right hand by Claggett. 55% to 14% just in last round. Teo lands 29 power shots in the seventh or in the eighth versus 3 by Claggett. And one of the things about Teo's body language in the mid-rounds probably has to do with what Mark Kriegel just said. At 135, these power shots were putting his opponents out. He's landed some pot shots on Claggett, and Claggett's just eating them. And so Lopez is kind of – the frustration probably starts from there. Isaac Cruz versus Teo is a very tough, intriguing fight after watching. Yeah, for sure. Oh, beautiful combo by Teofimo. He lands 3 uppercuts, lead uppercuts with an overhand right and loops under. He's starting to style on him. Guys, he's starting to style on him. Round 9, a minute gone. I called either this round or the 10th in my prediction video this week of Teo knocking him out. You see a veteran like Claggett, though, who's fought this tough this late, you kind of want him to make the bell. You know what I'm saying? He's taking some bombs. We'll see how – so what's happening is the first half of the last few rounds, Teo's been moving a bit more, walking Claggett onto some of the shots. But the last 90 seconds of the last few rounds, Teo's been holding his ground, standing his ground, and pot-shotting Claggett. And this is the last 90 seconds of the ninth. We'll see if he does the same. Big uppercut by Teo. Big right hook to the ribs by Teo. Claggett jab. Teo with the right hand. Teo in the corner. Big right uppercut by Teo. Left uppercut to the body. A minute left in the ninth. Right hand. Win or lose this fight, guarantees Claggett at least 3 more fights in America. I mean, who wants to fight him? Right? 100%. I'd watch a Claggett fight, boy. No wonder Claggett fans were – I was getting a lot of comments. Claggett fans knew that this dude was tough as nails. 40 seconds left in the ninth. Right hand by Teo. Teo does a lot of little tricky things that you see veterans do, like in the break, shoulder push off, lead hook counter. So shoulder break, lead hook counter. That's where you see the biggest sort of like gap, or like the little sort of professional things that Teo has in his arsenal. Claggett's a bit of a one-trick pony. High guard, takes some shots, forces opponent against the ropes, and drowns you with volume. Teo's cardio is nice. 10 seconds left in the ninth. He's keeping up that volume. Big right uppercut, angle change by Teo. Circles out, puts the jab out there, starts to dance. And the ninth. We got 3 rounds left, guys. Teo looks – that round he looked more comfortable than he's looked. That was his most comfortable round. 9 and 10 have been washed. Nice head movement, shoulder rolling. We're in between rounds. Few rounds left going to the 10th. What are they writing? What are these experts and pundits writing about this fight, guys? Some of the shit talk that they say. Tonight is defense. No one. What's ESPN saying? Yeah, Lopez is landing some gorgeous combos that last round. We got rounds 10, 11, and 12 coming up. Swelling around both eyes. Teo's won every round, but it's been tough. And you can see the frustration in Teofimo. He landed, when you guys see highlights of this on the internet, he landed some gorgeous, I'm talking flush punches in the ninth. Go to the ninth. If you remember, Google ninth round highlights. That ninth round, some bombs. The 10th round, Saltev, my bad. Go to the 8th round. The 9th round had bombs. This is the 10th round. All right, we got round 10 of 12. It was the 8th round where Teo was landing some just pot shots that I thought Claggett was on wobbly legs. But Claggett's tough as nails. He hasn't lost in 10 fights. Number 8 in the world for a reason. He's not a guy, I mean, ooh, big right hand. 30 seconds gone in the 10th. Same old story. Lopez is back up against the ropes. Claggett's pushing pressure forth with the double jab. Right hand over the top. Teo's getting hit a little bit more than I'd like. Yeah, after the 8th round, Claggett's looking good here. Yeah, Pitbull Cruz versus anybody in that division. I'll watch a Pitbull Cruz fight anywhere at 35 or 40. It's that reach, though. Stylistically, though, you know, Teo and Pitbull, I'd have to watch. I mean, Pitbull got Rayo August 3rd he has a big fight in LA, man. We can't be looking past Rayo. That dude's a beast. That's an electrifying matchup. Both guys' styles are made for a highlight fight. We got 90 seconds left in the 10th. The fans are chanting Teo. Oh, big right hand by Lopez. Claggett wears it well. Big left hand by Claggett to the body. Lopez with a right hook over the top. Left-handed exit. Claggett pushes him right back against the ropes, right to where this whole fight's taking place. Shoulder roll by Teo. Right hand to the body counter. Left uppercut. Right uppercut by Teo. Claggett with the body shot. Claggett with a hook up top. Teo with a hook to the head. Angle change. Minute left in the 10th. Reset. I just don't know if Claggett has anything to hurt Teo. By this time in a fight, you usually have seen everything that your opponent has. You've tasted the nice jab by Claggett. Snaps Lopez's head back. Lopez exits. Nice left uppercut by Lopez. It seems like every time Claggett lands a nice one, Lopez gets it back. They're exchanging here with 40 seconds left in the 10th. Nice uppercut by Teo. Nice right hand by Teo. Claggett answers with a jab. Lopez smiles at him. 20 seconds left in the 10th. Claggett's corner screaming at him. Right hand by Teo. 10 seconds left in the 10th. Oh, God! 10-punch combo by Teo. 2 left. It's an exhausting fight. Both guys are in great shape. Claggett, corner working hard, get the swelling on both eyes, swelling around the nose. He's standing in this round, get the end swell on each eye. Did you guys see the Gary Antoine Russell Puello fight, the end swell they were using? They had this mask. Usually it's like a piece of metal. Old school boxing corners would use a spoon that was frozen. Gary Antoine Russell's corner had a medieval mask that they were putting on him. I had never seen anything like it. Lopez has massive swelling over both eyes. That might be from a headbutt. He has a massive hematoma over the frontal here, that frontal shelf that a lot of boxers will just get naturally here, but it's starting to swell here. It looks pretty fucking gnarly. We got 2 rounds left. He's smiling, though. He's won every round. They literally run to the middle like 2 rams and butt heads. Less than 6 minutes, guys. Anyone could have predicted Lopez to win. I'd like to see a knockout. But then again, if you're a Claggett fan, you'd like to see him make the bell. That's kind of the only remaining narrative of this fight. It's 10-0. You know, it's like if you're a Claggett fan, you want him to make the bell. If you're a Lopez fan, you want Lopez to win by knockout and get this tough, gritty Canadian out of there. We'll see. I don't know if Lopez, is it in him to do that? Like, obviously, if he could have, like, will he exert that effort? You know what I mean? I don't want to say if he could have, he would have, but yeah, like with big combo with hunting a knockout late in a fight like this. It's required to put yourself in some vulnerable situations. Will he do that? I mean, if I was his corner, I would say no, because you want to continue the momentum journey. But as a fan, I'd like to see Teo. I just don't know if he has the power to get Claggett out of there. Claggett he's like an old doormat. He's like a rubber doormat that's wilted in the wind, that's just leaning. And it's like, you got to like get an axe to chop that motherfucker up. That doormat's been around for decades. You were a kid, your kids are kids. It's like, how's that doormat still exist? 90 seconds left in round 11. Lopez has won every round. But like I said, this is one of the most competitive, unanimous that you'll see. Claggett's there to get hit. He's there to fight. Big combination by Claggett. Lopez returns to the body. Big right hook to the body. Oh, big right uppercut by Lopez. Let's see the last time Claggett was knocked out. 1 minute left in the 11th. Claggett hasn't been knocked out since 2011 against a guy named Romeo Jackasalem. It's the only time he's ever been knocked out. His losses are a knockout in 2011, split decision in 13, UD in 15, majority decision in 16, UD in 18, UD in 19, and then his last loss was 9 fights ago in 2021, split decision. So yeah, he's only been knocked out once, and it was in one of his first fights. You could see it. The dude is gritty. No wonder he came in with all this confidence. But the confidence only take you so far. Boxing's such a skilled sport on so many different levels. Nice movement by Teofimo Lopez. 10 seconds left in the 11th. Yeah. Claggett's still there, though, after round 11, staring Lopez down. Please, he is far ahead of the rest. We'll lose fight guarantee. Claggett, win or lose. Far ahead of what rest? Go Teofimo. Pitbull Cruz would fight him. That would be an awesome fight. Lopez is a good fighter, but not as far as ahead of the other 140 champs. Lopez is a good fighter, but not as far ahead. Yeah, look, the other champs at 140, Tim, if you take Teofimo Lopez, Pitbull Cruz, Alberto Puello, and Liam Perro, I'd have to agree with Duel 1982. I don't see Teofimo that far ahead of any of those fighters. You know what I mean? I mean that there's a lot of parity in boxing. Now, do we look at these fighters when they're at their best? I mean, I've seen Teofimo. The thing about having a gauge with having the best conversation is, okay, so Lopez CompuBox 287. So Lopez's most landed punches in a fight was 183 in a 12-round fight. 183, the most punches he's ever landed. He's landed 287 in this fight. Talk about a kid who came in prepared for a volume puncher. That in itself is a 280. That's a classy number, man. Cheers to Teofimo Lopez. But I've seen Lopez have down fights before. I've seen Lopez. We saw him lose before against George. Puello's undefeated. Perro, we see what we talked about earlier. Perro has power with a high fight IQ. He outboxed Subriel Matias, the guy nobody wanted to fight. So that in itself keeps that gauge of who's far apart. You get Perro going to Puerto Rico and beating Subriel Matias, he instantly stays close to any champion at 140. That's all I'm saying. Would I take Perro to beat Lopez? I don't know. I don't really start thinking about who would win a fight until a fight gets signed officially. But like I said, you go to Puerto Rico from Australia and you fight the boogeyman, a guy nobody wanted to fight, and you beat him and you outbox him and you become a champion, you're instantly close to anybody. How could you say he's not? I mean, what's the argument to say he's far away from anybody based off of that? So we got 2 minutes left in the 12th. Puello is the one who matches up the best. Please, he is far ahead of the rest. Puello against Teo. I like that fight. Dude, I became an Alberto Puello fan couple weekends ago when he beat Gary Antoine Russell and he showed his class because he lost those first. Gary Antoine Russell jumped out sprinting in that fight. You know, he ran away with the first 3 rounds, and he thought he was going to run away with that victory. And Puello was like, I'm not going anywhere. You're going to have to knock me out. And Gary Antoine Russell didn't have a plan B or plan C, and he's going to learn a lot from that loss. And Puello's a tough out for anybody. He's long. That's the thing. He's long, and he's skilled. We got a minute left in the 12th. Lopez lands a huge right uppercut with a big right hand, smiles, gives Claggett a smile, kind of like, yeah, I expected you to still stand. When you share 12 rounds like this, man, how do you not respect each other? Tail versus Russell, Pitbull. Dude, that Catterall fight, I like that. Oh, big right hand. Catterall's fighting coming up. Eddie Hearn just announced that fight. He has a fight coming up. 45 seconds left. This is gonna be a 12-0. It's a whitewash, but like I said, it doesn't mean that it wasn't a good fight. You know what I'm saying? This is an action pass. Oh! Lopez seemed rocked. 30 seconds left. That might have been a slip. I want to see that replay. Yeah, Claggett didn't earn his money, but he caught Lopez with the right hand. The ref kind of broke him up. It looked like he got rocked. It might have slipped. 10 seconds. Claggett, they're exchanging bombs in the center. Lopez, uppercut, misses. Claggett with a big left hook. Lopez with a hook. Claggett with a right hand on the bell. They give each other love. Exciting fight. Claggett's a dog, dude. Whoever was a Claggett fan before this fight, cheers to you guys. I'm a Claggett fan now. Claggett's a dog. That's a dude you don't want to fight at a bar. That's a dude. Claggett's the type of cat at a bar. I'm talking when I was a kid. You'd have to hit him with like a fire extinguisher. You ever have those friends? Like even buddies I grew up with, I grew up boxing, wrestling. We called it tussling. I played American football, basketball, played baseball in college. With your boys, you grow up tussling and fighting. And you know the guys who are tough and the guys, who are just skilled. And then the guys who aren't tough, who aren't skilled, but you just got to hit them over the head with a bat. Claggett's that guy. You got to hit him over the head with a bat. Lopez definitely is tough to lesser fighters would have became discouraged. For sure. We got to see, good point. We got to see the maturation on Teofimo Lopez's psyche in this fight because a few years ago, when Lopez looks at his corner after round 6 with that frustration look, the dad would have panicked, Lopez would have panicked, and we might have seen a different result. This time, his dad gave him some adjustments, and I brought it up mid-fight. I said, Lopez is kind of just standing there after he lands punches, letting Claggett get off. You got to get on your bike. And that was a good adjustment Lopez did. Classy performance by Teofimo, professional performance. I don't see any naysayers. If there are naysayers, they're going to say, why didn't he get Claggett out of there? And what we'll say is Claggett hasn't been knocked out since 2011. In 2011, what were we doing? I was living in Las Vegas in 2011. You know what I'm saying? It's a long time ago. So, guys, I got to let you go. I got to go see my girl. My girl got a girlfriend. And I'll see you guys. Subscribe, hit the like button, notification buttons will let you guys know when videos come out. And been watching you on the TV since round 6. Didn't buy this fight. Keep looking at the stars, everyone. I appreciate you, Jack. Hit subscribe, hit notify. Tomorrow I'm going to come out with the video of the stats of this fight. Stats don't lie. I'm also going to do a breakdown of the AJ Dubois fight, and we got to talk about Bam Rodriguez and Juan Estrada. I won't be streaming that, but enjoy that fight. I appreciate you guys. Hey, you guys are dope.